Look, no, it's all right. We're live now. It's saying we're live now. Right, countdown clock. Here we go.
Seamless.
It is. Totally seamless. Doesn't work. Right. Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Thursday live lockdown show. Here we are on the, I was going to say 14th. No, it's
19th.
It's the 19th of November 2020. Back again for another fun day of excitement and everything that's going on. Anyway, we all doing good, guys? How are we doing? What's new? What's happening? How's it going?
We're like swans, aren't we? It's all nice and calm on the surface, and then underneath.
Yes, normally. Although, Matt, say something. Sing us a song.
Oh, no, but I will say something. Hello, good afternoon.
Right.
How's my echo?
It's it. It's gone, isn't it? We've done it. So,
Or lack of. Oh, got thingy on chat. What the hell's going on out here? Sorry, it's like two lorries having a fight, I think, to get around the car park. It's quite amusing.
Paul's typed up on YouTube chat already, like and subscribe, and they flagged it. It's not me, it does it. I've just unflagged it because clearly, like and subscribe, everybody. But yeah, it's amazing how they do. It's probably just us. They're like, oh, it's them again. Right. Okay. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. As I say, back with you. Luckily for me, I've got a massive parcel down here, which I will show you shortly, which has come through. So we've got a bit of a live unboxing of everything that's been going on recently. I've been very busy with this, which is coming along. Hold on, where's my overhead?
Rob McCluskey says, Phil, mute yourself before coming on air. You might say something you shouldn't.
Oh, no, we deliberately do it. That's part of the giggle for this.
Yeah, we do. live life on the edge.
So, yes, there we go. That's it. It's sort of coming together now. But my steering wheel keeps falling off. Let me put that somewhere safe so we can keep it. But, yes, we're starting to looking very nice now. It's starting to come together. So, that's it. Anyway, next part of that will be up with you tomorrow. And the last part was up yesterday. If you didn't see it, went up last night. I did the editing as we went through. So, that's coming along very, very nicely. We got lots of new stuff coming in stock and bits and pieces everywhere on the PM store, which is all very nice. Andy's been very busy putting things in stock as our IT person, because he's the only one who knows how it works.
I have started. It's hidden at the moment, so people
can't. Yeah, I can't see it. We haven't got it yet.
Oh, right.
Big reveal. Don't say nothing.
Are we going to have a big reveal, are we? All right, okay.
Big reveal. Hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Anyway, good afternoon to everybody in live chats. Everybody who is in with us, which I haven't even been in here yet. Am I actually live in here? Let me refresh. Oh, no, I'm not. Hold on. Let me just log in. See, look, seamless all this. I can't. I just need to log into the chat room.
So anyway, Phil, just before we start, are you going to tell them the bad news about the mugs?
That would be good. Don't say anything. It's fine. Not like we dropped them or anything. So, but no, first of all, thank you to everybody who's ordered a mug. So yes, it's around about 230, I think, have sold now already. That's not bad, seeing they only went up yesterday afternoon. So yes, it is available. So as I said, it is limited, but it's going to be the sort of pre-order for this will end at the end of the month. So you've got the month to get the orders in, then they're going to go out. But to be honest with you, the company who are doing the mugs for us, clearly I think I'm their new best friend because they've been on the phone all the time. So I might have some mugs turn up next week already, and as soon as they come in, everybody's ordered, I'll get your mugs out to you and they'll go out winging their way through. I've got some very nice posh boxes which are roughly the size for them that they'll go in with a bit of packaging and everything, so they'll be going out. So that'll be my weekend. If they do rack up, it'll be going through doing them and doing them at night and evenings like last time. So yes, but thank you to everybody who's ordered mugs, got all your orders and everything sorted. As I say, as soon as they arrive, I'll quickly check them, get them packaged up, and we'll get them all sent out, and they'll be winging their way to you sooner. But I think originally I was saying about the first week in December, talking to the company, they're on it like Sonic. Literally, they're doing them as we speak. So as they're being done, they're going to bring them up to me in batches of probably 150, something else like that. So they're a local company as well. So that's a nice thing. That point of view.
Good.
So good. Right. There we go.
Now just answer David. Yes, David, it is. And sorry about the mess about. It's all sorted. It's all done and sorted. That's who I made a right cock up yesterday night when I got home. Thanks, David, for getting back to me and sorting that as well. So yeah, we're all good. I can.
Is that what you were telling me about?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Might
that's
be-
the
might
one.
be
David
messed
almost
up
got
again.
a bargain.
Yeah.
So yes, speaking of which as well, just about the mugs, I know some of you, the postage to me looks very heavy going to US and Australia and stuff like that. I know for a fact when I sent one to one mug that went to Chris that you won at the auction, it cost about 16 quid to send it, and I'm aware some of you looks like you're paying £22. Obviously if there is a big difference like that, I'll refund you. So as soon as I know what it is for sending like 2 mugs and things like that to the US, I think it's charging something like 22 quid at the moment. If it is less, and obviously it's, you know, if you're talking just a quid, I won't bother. But if it's more than that, obviously I'll refund you at the time. But I don't know how much they're going to cost to send yet. So it's just using the standard weight system that we use for everything. So it's usually about right. But if there is a difference, it just seemed a little bit heavy on some of you because depending where you are in the US or around the world, obviously the price goes up. But if it is a lot, like we do with the PM store, works the same way, we will refund you. So I know a lot of people just look at it, you get to checkout and think, yeah, not paying that. But what we tend to do is when we get the figure through, which is usually like a day or two later, we get the invoice for the sending it. And then if it is a big difference, then obviously we will refund you the difference. We're not that bad.
No. Well, literally, do you know, yesterday before we came on here, Leslie came running and was like, through my window, are you filming? Because the phone had gone off and it was the post office about doing the click and collect.
Yes.
So they're ringing tomorrow, I think. So I need to speak to them to get it all sorted. And that means then we can probably have a better deal for postage. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You never know you like it. Hopefully it'll go that way.
Did you say they sent Dave Bennett's
It's going
second
out
album?
today. It's going out today.
I can't look anymore because PayPal have cut me off.
Yeah, no, it's going out today.
It's because you're naughty. They put you on the naughty step, have they?
No, they're doing two-step verification now. So every time I log into PayPal, it goes through to Matt's phone. So I have to phone Matt up to get him to give me the code. So
everything's doing that now, I must admit. What was it the other day? Oh, the Ring doorbell system. That's on that as well now.
Yeah, but we've had it as well. You know, when we've been paying some people, we've had to use the little card machine thing that you have to do to verify, and it's called because of it's Black Friday.
Oh,
and
right.
fraud and all that, because Leslie said obviously she's in the know, and you know, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside. So. Anyway, just before we start, as you can see,
hold on, let me put you on screen.
I know it's not the PM show, but the three chieftains here, they're even on one camera. That is all we've got, and that is as far as I know, that kit's discontinued. So if you want one, grab them, because I managed to grab them this morning because I went to see one of our suppliers and he had them on the floor and I literally goes, are they for sale? Can I have them? so I grabbed them, and then we got a proper good deal on them to the 30 quid each.
Yes. Very
so
nice.
If you want to join in with the aquarium, SIG, whatever we're doing, I don't know, water one.
Naval.
That's the one, yeah, you can build that. So,
Boat Fighter and the Shack I've put in the special offers, and the Tacum's still in Tacum, isn't it?
It's in Tacum, it's not on a special, but they're there. So if anybody wants a chieftain, and obviously Phil can verify out, I know he didn't build that mod, but how good a kit that is.
Well, it's just the different turrety bits, isn't it? But no, the I did the Mark 10, beautiful kit, one of my favourites actually. It goes together, an absolute dream.
Yeah.
So yes.
Anyway, we carry on now. Proper show. No, carry on with the proper show.
Okay, shall I try my other cameras? Like, how many cameras can one person have? Apparently too much. You can't really see it, but this little box here turned up today, like this, you see. So I thought we'll do a little bit of a live unboxing here. So it's from a very dodgy company from Doncaster. And so what we've got down in here is the long-awaited. Good job I lifted the lid then, because I cut it. Otherwise I might have gone straight through the top one. Oh my lord, why have I ended up with one? I don't know what's in this, so so there you go. That's, to be honest, that's the most important bit. So that would be me paint. We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so
yeah.
Santa's bin. So we have in one. Very nice. Is this for review? Is it?
Well, you might as well have a look at it, eh?
Right,
Unless you want to build it.
Okay, shall I build it? Right, okay, so we've got one of those. We have the long-awaited one of them. So I'll do a review on that as well. So that I'll probably do the review of that tomorrow. if that's the plan. Do you know what? I might keep this and end up doing it at the week for the turkey shoot.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I never thought of that. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
So if you don't know what that is, that's the 1-to-1 scale Panzer.
It's a Tiger 1. I
shell.
couldn't get the Tiger 2 one in the box. It's
is
too
that a
long.
bigger shell, is it?
It's massive. Yeah, you ought to see it's a right ball ache to post them, the Panzer 2 shells, because it's so frigging long.
Oh, right. So, yeah, so there we go. That's the 1-to-1 scale 88. So
one of the guys on the forum's done one, hasn't he?
And he's done a cracking job on his. I love that one. That's very, very nice. Right, okay, that we'll look at in a moment. These you might remember we were doing, what they're called? Horizon models.
Horizon models, yeah.
So, as I say, I spoke to Matt about it, and I do like my rockets and things, but these look absolutely beautiful. So it'd be nice to have a look at these. So we've got these. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. Andy Manning tempted with the Porsche.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too big for your shells. Build bigger shells, Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got one of those. We've got the MG Metro.
Yeah, you know, reviewed that, have you?
6R4. No. Nice.
No.
Very nice.
I do like 6R4s or something.
What we got down there, that's something else. We'll look at that in a moment. We've also got Pugo.
A Pugo 306.
Pugo 306.
That's about what we can afford, a Peugeot 306.
Okay, then the cool stuff.
Then the cool stuff.
Charlie 2. Very nice. Nice box art, Matt, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's well,
Very nice indeed. Right, I'm running out. It's like Christmas.
Could be Bobbington, couldn't it?
Yes, we are getting the RS 200 when it's released. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Well, that's obviously next year's release, so you've got an exclusive.
Oh, will be? Is that an exclusive one? Panzer free?
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice indeed. Then we've got that. Is that the upgrade set for the Panzer 3 then? Yeah.
Yes, that's your yeah.
Cool. Very nice indeed. And then, oh God, okay. Oh no, it's all right. Still got stuff. Rifle model. So we got the workable link track. Now, are they different to the kit ones?
No, I think you can use them on the Tamiya kit, to be honest.
Is that what they're doing? So it's very similar to what, wasn't it? Tacken did it.
Yes.
Because that called me out, because I bought them thinking they were like different, and they're the same as what you got in the kit. Right, okay, and then this is what me and Matt did treat ourselves to a couple of RC kits, because we're mad. So I might have to do a review of this as well. I love the way the damaged box. Is that it?
Yeah, it's damaged.
That's the damaged box. Can you see it? It's this tiny bit here.
No, it's more damage than that, wasn't it, on one of the ends, or isn't it?
No, that's it. Seriously, there's not a mark on it. I can't see a mark on it. Let me change cameras.
I thought it was more damage than that.
No. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Where are we? Show. There we go. No, seriously, there's not a mark on the box. The only thing I can see... Like, seriously, have they given us the wrong one? There's not actually. There's a tiny, but I'm not being funny, it's nothing.
All right, well, we'll put it back in.
I think we've lucked out there.
Wait, if you don't want it, I'll put it back in shop.
No, it's mine. Mine, I tell you, keep off. That's it, squirrel it away, quick. Right, good job the dog's not in here, she'd be in the box. Right, thank you very much.
You're doing it in the British Army flat green?
What, the Lanny? I'll be doing Land Rover green.
or green and black.
That's it. So yes, very nice. So anyway, as you can see, we've got absolutely a ton now of reviews to go through. So I will be working my way through these probably tomorrow, because I've caught up, as I say, a little bit with the Riffield stuff. So what I'm going to do is obviously we get the Tonka done tomorrow, because everyone's asking for that, and then I'll make my way through these all next week. So fear not, everybody. Quick, we can have a backdrop. Build a wall. So yes, we've got all of this lot coming down. And I must admit, these rockets, I'm very interested to see what they're like.
I'll tell you what, them rockets are really nice. I'm going to say it before you even reviewed it, because I was not expecting a lot from them, and they're really good. So I'll be interested to see your thoughts.
Yes.
You've covered the rockets now.
I know, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone.
Jenga.
The guys in chat said we should do a car sig at some time.
We did do one a few years ago. It's quite successful. Can I get that in the top? No, it's going to be too tall.
No.
That's all right. Look, get rid of the Pugo. That's it. It'll be good. That's it. Let me get. I've got an idea. If we do this, and then if I do that, come on. This is where everything goes flying.
By the way, them challies are literally should be here soon.
Lovely. I like the way you get the Berlin scheme for it. I've got photos of them lined up at, I think it was Bovington or wherever they were, waiting to go on to transporters.
Are you tempted to add to your Berlin scheme collection?
What, do a chally in one?
Yeah, to go with the Chieftain and your 432.
Yeah, it could be. Be a nice little addition, wouldn't it? The family. So, yes. Anyway, there we go. So that's the plan. Well, obviously, I'm going to work my way through the reviews. To be honest, I've got a bit of time over the weekend as well. I'll be doing them then as well. So next week, look out. Reviews probably every day as we make our way through. So, yes, good stuff on that. Lovely. And I must admit, it will be interesting to see what that's like. And then we'll get our Tornado aficionado on it as well, and he can give their opinion.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you use any type of magnifier? Yes, definitely. We all do, because we're all old.
Yeah,
definitely.
Mine has stuck to my face.
Yeah, that's... Yes, no, we all have to have them in one form or other. I've learnt that this year. If anything, COVID has taught me magnifiers. So, yes, but no, we've all got magnifiers. It's one of those things. I think once you start to use them and you sort of get used to them, it's very hard to be without with them. You know, and I've definitely turned that corner now. I went years saying, I don't need them, I'm fine. And then, no, you do. It's one of those things.
The thing is, it's amazing the detail you see when you've got them on that you didn't see. If that makes sense. And then that's when you get used to them. You can't take them off because they're just part of the, part of you when you're modelling. So
I must admit, I was doing the photo etch on this. I honestly don't think I could have done it without them.
No.
Because it's so fine, Yeah.
I think I was the first one to succumb once, but then as the others have started getting older and getting, well, not.
There's only about Nathan in there. Nathan's about the only one who don't wear one.
He's the youngest, though, isn't he? So
he's only not that thing.
But he does the smallest models as well. Christ knows how he does that.
Yeah, but he ain't had an eye test in 30 years. So it could be.
Could be blind as a bat.
It could be, yeah.
Yes, I must admit that was the thing though. I was so disappointed when I went to have my eye test and they said, no, you're okay, just use these. You don't need glasses. Because I'd already picked out the frames and everything when I was walking around the shop waiting for my test. And it was like, well, I was trying them on and I was thinking, yeah, they look quite nice. I was so disappointed when I came out. Can't I just have glass? Just a pane of glass.
With some blank
just no lenses in them. Because I look sophisticated with them on, it's fine. But yeah. How many airbrushes do you have, Phil? Too many. Yeah. Well, not as many as Matt.
Yeah.
Shoes and airbrush, Matt. He is. I've got, what do we got? So we got, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 in total.
See, I feel inadequate because I've only got 5.
But that's the thing. I'm not being funny. Out of that 11, 9 of them I never use. That's the problem, isn't it?
I was going to say I must be compensating for something then. How many I've got?
So go on, how many have you got?
I don't know. I actually don't know how many I've got.
Just lost count.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll do a count, but I don't know off the top of my head how many I've got. Far too many. And I'm like you. I use 2, I think. So.
The thing is, I like I was saying, if you can, it's nice to have 2 because if you use like metallics and metallizer paints, it's quite nice to have 1 airbrush just for that, and then 1 for just general work. And I know other people, they might have 3 because they do clears and they'll have an airbrush that just does clear work, 1 that does metal, 1 does. And I know other people who have a plethora of airbrushes for different types of work and materials they're working with. So 1 will be for enamels, 1's for acrylics, 1's for lacquers, so forth and so on. But I don't think you need to go quite that far. I just to pretend, or just tend to have the 2 and I'm away.
Just answer Rob's question on here. Yeah, I would, Rob.
I'm just looking to see how much money.
Snap it up.
What's that?
He's on about a Millennium Falcon, perfect grade for a very good price, to be honest. So I said, yeah, do it.
It amazes me though.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, isn't it? So, yeah.
Never mind what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Right, for people who don't know what we're on about, we were just talking about that certain companies are flogging kits off very, very cheap. So, we can't compete as a company. It's as simple as that. It is what it is. We've paid X amount for it, and we can't afford to do any more than that.
Things we know what the trade price is, so when you then look at it,
yeah. Well, that's up to them, innit? It's a company, so yeah. So we're going to do questions, or we got something else to cover?
I don't know. Have we got anything else to cover? Anything particular?
No, because we didn't pick anything out, did we, in the gallery? Unless you really want to quickly scoot round.
To be honest, I was thinking last night, and I meant to post some up.
Were you, Andy? One job. To be honest, we're slightly out of step because we normally do it in the afternoons. We go around and have a look at people's work and that, but we can still do that if you want. Let's have a blind look in the realms of the Flory Models gallery sections. So, right, let's have a look at a 72nd Provost. Oh, that's quite a nice one. From Rodders.
Oh, look, a nice little Provost.
Nice day glow scheme. Look.
I tell you what, Andy's got a squadron of them.
Yeah. Andy's got enough for entire flying school, haven't you?
I would if I had any decals for him.
Ooh,
when Lidl's were knocking them out cheap.
Yeah, Lidl's or Aldi, wasn't it?
Was it Aldi or Lidl's were banging them out really cheap, weren't they?
Well, yeah, but Matt's had me decals for about 2 years.
Anyway, very nice 72nd Airfix Provost. Have you built the kit, Andy? You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it is a nice kit. Very nice kit.
I built it as well, and it's a cracking little kit.
Mm-hmm.
I just managed to cock up my paintwork on it. That's why Andy ain't got his decals back yet.
Right. But no, very nice little one there. Good job on that one, Rodders. Very nice indeed. What else we got? Oh, look, somebody's done a baby hornet. I've done one of these as well. Same markings as mine. So you might remember for last year's turkey shoot,
I was about to say
I did this one. So I did the same one. So this is the tiny 144 Echo Hornet.
Yeah.
And very nice job indeed. Again, to be honest, it's a beautiful little kit. I was really was surprised. It's got all nice recessed panel line, and you get all the weapons with it and all the bits and pieces. The decal options are a bit limited. I think this was the only one that was in the box, but again, very nice indeed. For something straight out of the box, something so small, beautiful job. Very nice job on that one.
Where's yours?
To be honest, mine had somewhat a bit of an accident.
Oh.
Hold on, let me get it. It's over here. Well, some of it's over here. So hold on, let me just. To be honest, it does need a little bit of work to put it back together. But mine looks like this. Hold on, need a camera. Let's have a camera.
Looks tailless.
Yeah, mine had a bit of yes. So I've lost a wheel and that type of thing, and they say the tails need to go back on. But yeah, mine had a bit of an accident.
How?
Well, it was stuck to a plimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, well now it's not, and that's why. So it took. I think the wheel is still stuck to the plinth.
Right.
But yes, unfortunately, it got dropped. It wasn't a good outcome. To be honest, this one's far better anyway. It's in one bit. So yes, beautiful job on that. Very nicely done.
It's a really nice Tamiya F4U on the in the air gallery.
Right. Okay.
By George.
F4U. Okay. What, this one here? Tamiya one, by George.
One, yeah.
Oh, very nice indeed. So yeah, the Tamiya 48 scale F4U.
Classic kit.
Nice chipping. What we were saying about limited chipping, not going over the top. Nice panel as well with the definitions. I like the runs off the top.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Nice,
got that nice faded down blue.
Yeah, I do like that.
Really nice, yeah.
So what's that intermediate blue, is it?
Yeah, it's the lighter one, isn't it? Intermediate blue. So yes, nice job. But it's again, nice job on the chipping, because I always go well over the top.
What, like the 32nd one?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Only in hushed tones or when we're drunk.
You do need to do that again, you know, just to redeem yourself.
I tell you what, I have thought about it. If I did it again, I'd just build the Tamiya one. No.
I was going to say, or build the Tamiya one. I won't say build the Trumpy one, but yeah, build the Tamiya one just to put it to bed and move on.
Just move on from that nightmare.
I'll see if we could get a smash box up from.
Yeah, see if you can find a dented box
in the cages.
Yeah. Well, I was going to grab one last time, one of the pre-production run ones, but there's half of it missing, wasn't it?
Yes. So, yeah, was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. They couldn't even make it up out of the scrap bit, could they?
No,
you know what I mean?
no, didn't have the bits we needed. So, anyway, very nice job on that one. Well done, George. Beautiful work.
Toby Page done a really nice F-14, Edard F-14 Danger Zone.
F-14.
I wanted to see that Demon, because that's a terrible kit.
Is this F-14 Danger Zone?
Wow, that's scrubbed up all right.
Yeah.
I was fancy doing one of them.
Hmm.
It's like a love child between a Phantom and a...
Again, this is when they were chucking them out left, right and centre, because they were just being superseded very quickly at that part in history. But yeah, it does look like... well, it was a McDonald's aircraft, wasn't it? So that's probably why it looks a bit Phantom-esque. So yes.
Oh no, sorry, Toby's is in the movie group action.
Hmm.
I tell you, that's not a great kit, I don't think. So that looks really good. Come out really well.
Right, isn't it? Nice.
It's nice. It's nice as well with the US Navy IDs markings. I think they're more colourful, aren't they? Than
yeah.
The modern greys.
The modern
gold and white always looks nice, especially with a bit of metal on for the leading edges and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I saw this one the other day. Nice one, because we like a Phantom, and the Japanese recce ones are really nice. So this is from Witcher, has done the Hasegawa 48 reconnaissance bird.
That's Academy kit, isn't it? Is it? Go back up.
Sorry, Hasegawa.
Oh, Nozzles Academy. Yeah, I'm just looking at what he's used. Cockpit. All right, okay. Couldn't say. Do you think Academy did one of them? Yeah.
Very nice.
Always look smart, don't they?
Always scrub up well. Always nice and colourful.
Mm.
So yes, very nice indeed. Where else? What else we got? Somebody pick them out.
Oh, the old Airfix Vulcan.
That's really nice as well, actually. That's a nice one.
Look, he's just thrown it. Lawn dart. Okay, so this is Mark's. As I say, it still is the one until it gets superseded next year with any luck. Has he rescribed it? Looks like it. Or was that raised? Can't tell from that angle.
I'll just reading his description of it. If you go back to the top, it's a Mojo killer or something, not a Mojo booster.
No. Again, I think that the problem always with this kit is, one, obviously it's raised details, but also the way the wing join used to go on the old one, and it's what they thought about with the new one, is, you got these bits clump in here, and this join is awful, no matter how you do it. And I've built a few of these, and they've always been a nightmare. So you end up having to sand and fill, and then you've got to replace all the detail, which means then you've got to replace everything. And it's just one of those, and the intakes are always a nightmare with it. But the way that they've done the new one, it's got this new system for the wing sets and everything, and actually it looks as if it's going to be really nice. So
I seem to remember, I'm not on the page, but I'm sure he said it was the paint scheme that was the Mojo killer for him, not the.
Well, it's come out really nice.
They look proper bang on. That does.
Really nice, yeah.
Because to be honest, if I'd have done it, you see, I wouldn't have masked it, which is wrong because it should have been.
Yeah.
But I was like, life's too short, innit? I'd have freehanded that. But it would have looked as sharp and as nice as that one. For sure.
That's a lot of blue tack, isn't it?
It is a lot of blue tack if you used to do it.
Are you tempted to build the new Airfix one then, Phil? That's a no then. We won't push you on that.
I'll be honest with you. The thing is, I've got the V fleet here, haven't I? I've actually got them all, apart from obviously the new Vulcan. So, and there's part of me that would actually like to do all three. So I've got the Valiant, the Victor, and it'd be nice to do the Vulcan, all the new tool ones, as we make our way through. And I know I've spoken to Pranjit about it. So I am probably going to do it when it comes out, purely because, one, it would be a little bit of a homage to my dad, because my dad was a massive Vulcan fan. And it would be one of those, because he did ask me to do one. And put that one off. And but now he's no longer with us. I think I might actually bite the bullet with it to do the new tool one, because again, it's the new one. It'd be nice to do a new tool one. And let's face it, I've been banging on to Airfix now for how long for him to do it? I think the first time I had direct contact with them, I spoke to their marketing guy, and he's the one who told me at Yelverton Air Show that all the time they're selling it, they won't do a new one. And that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they finally, I'm saying perhaps sales dropped and they thought better do one. But as he said to me, it's their best selling kit. Why would they stop? It's just business. So fair play. But no, that's actually a very, very nice one. Like it.
Yeah.
Good job. And it's in flight, which is quite nice as well.
Jason Zewin YouTube chat says, Phil, do you have any airliner kits? You've done a few, haven't you?
Yes. I don't know if he's talking that or if he was talking for PM side of it. But yeah, I've done a few. I've done a 787 and threw everything at it, a load of aftermarket, which came out very nice. And then we did, technically the VC10 I've just finished. Does that count? That was a very simple kit to go together. Shake and bake.
The old 72nd SR71 from Italy.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's have a look. Ooh.
Where is it?
So we've obviously been in here.
That's cool.
We actually looked at this one, didn't we, on the thing?
Yeah.
Because it's got the opened up nozzle. Really nice job on that.
Ooh.
It's got the engine exposed.
That's really quite nice, isn't it?
It's very,
Has
very
that got
nice.
them, what's the aftermarket company called who does stuff for that?
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on, did he put it at the top? Paint extras use inlet, engine nozzle, undercarriage, and on face. The thing's got the full build in there.
That's it, metal details, isn't it? That's the one who do the thing. That looks quite cool, actually, doesn't it?
Also, it's a really nice way to display it because having that opened up, it just gives it another dimension because you can see the size of those engines. And obviously, they've got the one at Duxford, haven't they, with the engines out. And they're massive engines, huge. So, yeah, very nice job on that. But again, nice paint, nice weathering. Got that nice crispy burnt look.
Yeah. Looks burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job of that. To say how old that kit is as well, because that's knocking on in it. That's got to be 80s. That's it. Originally.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, easy. Because like the Testers one, the bigger one, the 48th one they did, how old's that?
How big is it? Or
how old? I've built it, yeah, but how old's that one?
I don't know. It's big though as well.
Even older.
I could say the Rebel one, when that comes out in 48, is going to be huge because that is massive plane, isn't it?
Yes, I must admit, I did the SR71 as a commission, just straight out of the box, all the rest of it, and weathered, and that was a mojo killer because that's awful. And that's the Testers one; it's just a crap kit. It's all raised and it's all modular, and oh Jesus, it basically kills you. So it'd be nice to see the new ones when they're out. But I do like that. I just love the way with all the detail on the inside around the engine with the framework. It gives the actual Blackbird another dimension that normally you don't see. Again, it's got gorgeous undercarriage, all the bits in there. And so the shot cone, the detail in those. But yeah, very, very nice job on that.
Nice undercarriage as well.
Mm.
No, it sounds daft, but I know obviously like the Italy kit wouldn't have had any of that detail. So.
No.
Yeah.
Very nice job. Good job.
Yeah, no, really nice that.
One more. Right, go on, pick one more.
Go on, Andy, you could pick one. I've picked that one.
I'm just looking through other ones to see if there's any armour or...
Oh, you pick one then, Phil. Bryn Robinson.
Look for some armour, Andy, and we'll come over.
Get down. Get down one. No, there. No, the Skyhawk.
Where am I going? Skyhawk.
Next one along where you were. Up. There, it was on it. I'll be 2000.
Oh, that one. Sorry, I'll be 2001. Sorry.
Here you go. It's our Brins, look.
Oh, there you go.
And his aggressor scheme. I don't know what scheme that is. What's the scheme that, Phil? Marines, is it?
Yeah, it's a Marine. I think that might be a Marine aggressor one then.
So that's the Hobby 2000 kit, which is the old for That's come out all right, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, nice on the scale because that's 72nd. That's a little baby one. Tiny.
Yeah. Nice little kit. Goes well with his intruder, doesn't it?
That's it.
Cool.
Very nice. Right, what you got in armour, Andy?
If you go to the first, where are they? There's the T90.
Hold on. I've got to go military vehicles. So there's the T90. Yep. Check. From Ross, 35th scale.
Nice Evolution miniatures figure, I think. Yeah,
I've built this kit. I've built this kit. It's actually at the store, I think.
It's upstairs, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is for the price. It's a fantastic kit.
What do they call the barriers? They've got a proper name, haven't they? What do they call them?
What, the tank?
There's some at teeth, aren't there?
Yeah, I can't remember. It's got a proper name, isn't it? But I can't remember what they call them now. Yeah, Jesus, dragon's teeth. I don't know, something.
There's something
like that.
Big chat.
That's very nice, that, isn't it? It's saying nice little base, nice little bit of detail going through, lovely grass work with the figure.
Dragon's teeth, they are dragon's teeth.
It's dragon's teeth, yeah.
Yeah, that looks smart, doesn't it? That'd be a nice base for the M-Wrap.
Yeah,
a bit more dusty.
Can we borrow it? Save us a job.
Yeah.
That is a really, really nice value kit, that is. The Svezda T90. I've got the Eddard one as well, and I've never built the Eddard one because I built that, and I don't know, not the Eddard, the Meng, sorry.
The Meng one, I'll do a T90. Yeah. No, that's
You know what? I have a confession. I've never built a T90. Never done one.
You've done the Meng one, haven't you?
No, I never actually did it. I had it, and I was going to do it because I had the one with the LED headlight, or those red lights it has. And I did have it, and I had it here, and I think I said to everyone I was going to build it, and then I don't know, Matt sold it, so.
Oh, we auctioned it. I've got to say, there's the Meng T90s here. I think it's the one with the light as well.
Yeah.
And we've got the T72 in from Meng.
But no, that's very nice. That that.
And for something different, the 1/24th monogram Rommel's rod.
1/24th scale Rommel's rod. Ooh. That looked fantastic, didn't it? Come out brilliant. Love that.
I'm going to say that is an old kit as well, isn't it?
It is an old kit, yeah.
That's a really old kit, but yeah, that's come out all right. That's good.
Is this the one where he's asking about the colour for the bones?
Probably.
Colour to paint Rommel the other week. Good job on that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good bit of fun, isn't it?
To the point, how'd you shoot that from the seat? Because isn't that on the other side of him sat there? Yeah, there you go.
Like something George Barris would have designed, isn't it?
Yeah, like Wacky Racer Special.
Yeah. No, that's cool, that. Can we have a look at this pig models show you're on about? Because I've seen it in the gallery when you finished this.
That's stunning, that is, actually.
Where is that? Is that in Armour?
Yeah.
It was
just across where you are, about two across.
There it is.
Yeah, it's done a really good job at this.
Give you some ideas for yours.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is a little masterclass in it. Because again, it's just the painting, and obviously with the stenciling, but the scratching and all the tool marks on it. But actually, the primer looks like the real thing, doesn't it?
So what's he painted that in?
He did it in. He did say, because I have been through this. I'm sure he was saying he used AK True Metals, the pastes. So he's literally done the old rub and buff job with it, I think.
Oh, right, okay. Because that stuff goes a long way as well, doesn't it, that rub and buff? So
does it ever?
Well, I'm just thinking, obviously, if you want to use it, their idea is just to get rid of it, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'd say that's the best one I've seen.
That is definitely the best one I've seen yet as well. But like that primer just looks real.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic job on there.
Yeah, that's wow.
But the scratching around the shell itself, you know, like you would have the tool marks on there, putting them on and off, and all the rest of it would scratch into them. Really, very, very nice. And if you was like with mine, I might use it as a doorstop then. So you could actually just put some sand in the bottom, PVA glue sand in the bottom or something, make a good doorstop, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you could definitely make it a bit weighted by filling it with some sand or whatever, couldn't you?
Yeah. So yes, very, very nice.
Yeah,
that's
good job on that.
Yeah.
Until the bomb squad come round and confiscate it because they think it's real.
Honestly, officer, put the shell down. Brilliant. Okay, that'll do us. There we go. We're in. Oh, hold on, I'm on the wrong camera. Because we've got our questions and the various things to get through as well. Right. Okay. Good job, Bill. If you're ever going to do the T90, never do the Rebel 72nd version. It's a horrible kit. Oh, right, okay. Chances are I wouldn't do a 70-second one. I'm not that bad. Done some 70-second stuff recently. Phil, have you done the Mosquito by Tamiya? Anything to look out for when using the Edard engines, landing gear strengths? I have. Clearly, if you want to have a look at it, it's in here. The only thing I will say about this particular kit is that, to be honest, I wouldn't go overboard with the aftermarket. It was my one thing with this kit. Here it is. When I was going through, I threw, as you will see in here, everything at this kit. Oh, look, if I go, which way am I facing? There you go. It's like dual. But as you can see down in here, we literally threw everything at it. So I think like that's 80 quid's worth of resin. That was, I think, 30 quid. Anyway, the entire thing worked out something like 400 quid. It's ridiculous. So, and most of it, you don't really need. That you do, because that's a gorgeous instrument panel. That's the Yuma one. Going through it like that. I think we used HGW harnesses on this one as well, if I remember rightly. So that wasn't too bad. But again, you can get the cockpit. I did also get the gun barrels and all the rest of it for it as well. And all the front end machine guns and the ammo cartons, they're all resin. It's all aftermarket and that, which looks good. But honestly, the kit ones, hindsight, I don't think it's much better because the kit is pretty good. But we went right the way through. Engines, again, these resin engines, although they are beautiful and they are gorgeous and they look amazing, if you was to add a little bit of wiring yourself, just some, the normal thing, get hold of some lead wire, the usual bits and pieces, you could turn the kit ones into that. It's not a mass thing. But again, we went right the way through. She's up at the moment in Doncaster, getting dusty on the mezzanine.
The stages are just above me where I'm sat, I think.
It is.
Yeah, pretty much.
But apart from that, the kit goes together absolutely beautifully. In fact, I would call it almost flawless. There's no problems. There's no filler in there anywhere or anything else. And then obviously we just went through the motions of painting her up and then putting her together, weathering and going through with oils and all the usual stuff to bring her together, and complete with a figure which Matt painted. In fact, that's the first figure you painted for me.
Yeah, and I'd probably redo it now because it looks crap, if I'm honest. Because it was that in the P40 pilot, wasn't it?
Yes. But yeah, so, I've often been asked, people say, like, if you was to do it again, what would you do different? I wouldn't spend a ton of money on all that aftermarket because I really think out of the box, you pretty much get everything. Okay, the gun barrels I would probably change out, but I don't think I'd do the engines again. The weighted wheels are a nice touch because these are resin wheels over the kit ones, because the kit ones have these bits, and I did build them in the review, in the actual build thing to show, and they're not too bad, but the resin ones are particularly nice. But as for strength on the gear and all stuff like that, never had a problem with it. She was absolutely fine. As far as I know, well, Matt's got her there. I've never had a problem with gear strength. I know some people have said about the HK Models one. That one does have a very weak gear, but that one doesn't. It's not as bad as the HK. Because I know a few people have done the HK one and said to me, "Oh, you were going to need some metalwork in there because it's like an accident waiting to happen." But yeah, we never had a problem with it. She went together all right. But
You've got one of them, Andy?
I've got one of them, yeah. In my
got a video part of it. Yeah, there you go.
I like to call it a collection of 1/32 scale Tamiya kits.
To go with a collection of Edard special editions.
So yes, you can see the last part of it. It's up on the site. So if you want to go off after the show, clearly after the show, you can see the final part, which obviously talks about final assembly, weathering, and all the stuff, and you get a good idea of what it looks like and stuff. But yeah, I think it's just one of those areas where hindsight's a lovely thing. At the time, you're thinking, do you know what? I'm going to throw everything at it. And if you remember, well, Matt will, I had real trouble getting hold of the engines because that's the point where certain companies were saying they were in stock and I was buying them and then they wouldn't, where are they? Oh, we haven't got them. Yeah. And it's like, so I waited ages to get the engines in. Now you can buy, if I remember rightly, just one engine. That one, it came, the first release of it from Edard came as both engines. Now I think you can, if you wanted to do with just one engine exposed and uncovered, you can do it that way. So I think the one up at the store, we've got one engine covered, one open as well anyway. So, yeah. It's all right.
That's definitely one of those kits that shows how the yen to the pound and inflation have changed, because it's
yes,
fortune nowadays compared to what it was. It was always been £100 kit, but now it's a
£200 kit.
£200 kit.
Yeah.
I think I paid originally something like, I think it was 89 quid for that kit when it first dropped, and it was like now.
That'd be trade price, wouldn't it?
No, not back then. We didn't have PM then.
No, we didn't. No, you didn't have no.
And I had no way of getting Tamiya back then. I didn't have a back door for Tamiya.
Yeah, so, I bought mine off Matt pre-PM, I must admit.
But they were selling them off, didn't they? I remember. Do you remember when we went one of the open days and they were selling them off, weren't they?
Yeah.
It was on like one of their specials. I don't think we'll be doing that again in Aurora.
No.
So
yes. Do we have a review to do? It's there. The Tornado. That's why there's no review, because it literally, I've just unboxed it. It only turned up about an hour ago. So that's it. So it will be coming along. But no, the thing is, we would discuss this before, but I remember buying full price, and I think they were £79 for Tamiya's F-16s, 32nd F-16s. How much are they now? They've gone through the roof. So...
Oh, I mean, they've all gone up, haven't they? But like we know, they were holding the price as much as they could before they've had to pass it on. So fair play to Hobby Company for doing it. My chat's just lit up.
Is it?
Must be saying it said Phil was only 12 when he built the Mozzie. That first shot you showed of you with the you could have that one of those 10-year before and after. What people kept...
that was last week. I'm aging.
I was going to say, it's
Benjamin Button in reverse.
You definitely look a lot younger on that one.
Yes, I know. And it is. The easiest way you can tell is that if you look in the background, I've got 2 spray booths. So that's probably only about 5 years ago.
Because it's only 5 years ago.
It looks.
But I look a lot younger. See, that's what doing this job does to you kids.
Press your face.
No, that's what getting into your mid to late 40s does to you, mate.
I should be on drugs and smoke. That way I'll look younger. Apparently you can get the Mosquito for 165 quid.
Yeah, Roger said, "How did Phil and Matt meet to start up the story?" Just wait a bit, Roger, because there's a
question for that in a minute. Somebody's
asked
that.
There's a question for that.
Watch the review on the Mini Art T54 with the interior. Did you happen to build it? No. I did. I have done interiors, doing one now. But doing interior stuff is such a massive undertaking. And for the amount you see at the end of the day, after I got sort of bogged down quite a lot doing the King Tiger, with the full interior and everything, it's one of those things. But Mini Art, as we said before, the great thing about Mini Art, they're not a massive amount of money and you get so much in the box. The detail is unbelievable. If you want full interiors like the SU-85 and, as I say, all the Russian stuff that they do looks absolutely fantastic.
I think Mini Art, the interior kits are always one of those things that everybody wanted. But then it's one of those things, be careful what you wish for, because then they all turn up and then you think, do I really want to do all this interior? Because I've got quite a few interior kits, and so I just think it's a lot of work for something that you very rarely see.
Yeah, I must admit, it's one of those ones where I think it's finding that nice balancing act. Because sometimes if you've got like an armour hatches open, you don't just want a black hole, do you? You want something in there to show. But I suppose you could always stick figures in it, and then I have them hanging out of the hatches and things, and that covers that problem. But again, if you're into, like I said, if you're into your mechanics and you look like your engineering and stuff, in some ways building stuff like this is really nice because you get a full appreciation of everything that goes into it. Because to be honest with you, I never knew there was that much going on underneath an MRAP until I built the kit, because it's got all the tie-in areas, the metalwork that's in there, everything else. They've recreated literally every nut and bolt on this. So you're having to put all those parts in. So from an engineering point of view, I have a whole new appreciation of that vehicle and what it entails, and obviously the workings of it and how it's laid out and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one of those ones where if you don't mind taking your time with the build and certainly working your way through it, then I highly recommend them. But if you're more of a want to get it done and you've got a set number of kits you want to do and those types of things, and obviously not mess around too much, then obviously full interior stuff probably isn't for you. Phil, can you have a look when you do the review to see if you do the GR1 or the GR1A?
He'll ask Nathan.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
Well, I think they got a plate under here for the 1A, something to do it, and it'll need the window on the side here, isn't it, for the recce bit? So, don't know.
You're asking the wrong people.
All right, okay. I'll speak to my man.
Yeah, Rob Wood says he's bought 3 interior kits, started 2 of them, and then shelved them.
Yeah.
And did RHK doing a B17F in 48? I've got no idea.
We've done the 32nd one, so I imagine they will do the.
What they've downsized it to the G, and then what's the best 72nd one? B17F or G? Well, it's either the Revel one's pretty good, isn't it? The G and
I've done the
Airfix one's good kit.
I've done the Revel one, and it was a really nice kit.
I don't know about an F. What we're talking, Academy's F? Is that the only F?
What was the Airfix one?
Yeah.
What was the G as well?
Yeah.
I imagine after obviously doing that one, the 48 scale B17, HK are bound to bring out the Lank, aren't they, in 48? They're going to do it. If they don't, I'll eat my tin hat.
Yeah, but it's when do you think we'll still live that long to see it?
Well, that is the only thing. Mind you, the B17 sort of come out of nowhere, really, didn't it? Do you remember? It was Telford a couple of years ago. We saw the prototype, and it was like, wow, I didn't even know they were working on it. And everyone was like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? And it was like, that came out of nowhere, and it was quite quick. But it would be nice to have a new tool, 48 scale Lancaster, I must admit.
I'll tell you what, Tony's put a question up. Phil, who makes 132nd aftermarket nuts and bolts? I want some for my World War I aircraft.
Well, Meng make 35th, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, don't forget, if you wanted to, you could use real ones. Sounds stupid, but if you go on to certain places I go, because I am a complete anorak when it comes to it, as you've all seen, I've got drawers full of stuff like that, and you can actually buy real ones in that scale for like watchmaking and stuff. And they're not too expensive, but you'll get little tiny zip bags with microscopic bits in. But I use them for all my sort of props and stuff that I do. And that's why I've got bags of like microscopic grub screws and bolts and various things like that. So they're quite handy. You can do it that way. There is a company that does those sheets, isn't it, in resin, and you put a blade under it, a razor, isn't it? And you just flick them all off and they all come off in sheets. I can't remember it was
James
now.
has put some ANYZ. He's put try. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I don't know. But tell you what, I've just talked 3D printing.
Yeah,
it's the future, innit?
Yeah.
You know, all these
also
things.
We did. That people you're on about, Matt. I've got them all here. Hold on. It's Anne's stuff, isn't it?
And yeah, that's what he's put. James has put that. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. My mate. So yeah, you get. Broken again. Actually, one of these is. There you go. So hold on, where's my overhead? Tight overhead. Hold on, there's a review up on the forum on this on the site. If you go into tools and that, but these are all heads, bolt heads, nut heads. There you go. And washers. This is with washers, but we got all the other ones. But you got like spark plug things. What else we got? T connectors. We've got align connectors. Spark plugs and things. But I've got loads of them down there, all the different ones, but that's it. But they're like 3D printed. I don't think they are. Did we agree these are actually resin? We were thinking they were 3D printed, but we don't think they are. They're resin, but yeah, they come on little stalks like that. That's it. But if you go to Anne's, I think that's how you do it. It's Anne's.
Tom Anne's.
I think his name is somewhere.
Are you sure they're not 3D resin printed? Are they like what you can do?
I can't remember what he did tell me, but I can't remember what he said.
If you had some alcohol to do it with.
If only we knew somebody who had a 3D printer.
Yeah, if we knew somebody who had a 3D printer could get hold of some IPA, it'd be all right.
Hey, I know how to use it.
Yeah, and we'll have the skill to actually do the CAD for it,
Yeah. That's what we need. We need somebody to CAD. We need a CAD person, don't we?
Yes, if you're a CAD person and you know what you're doing, get in contact.
I've got a 17-year-old, but he's...
Yeah, he's a 17-year-old though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's more interested in playing the game.
Yes, I've got all their stuff because he sent me it all. There is a review of all this up on the site. So, but yes, they do. He does all the switches and all the gubbins and stuff as well. So yes, cool.
Yeah, Tony says I've got 3D printer, but you need Andy's resin one to do that. Yeah, I've got the resin one. I just need a decent CAD person.
I tell you, I need a 3D printer. I'm really tempted to buy one. Not that I know how to use it. I want to have a tube of glue, but I just want one.
It's a bit like buying a trumpet and you can't play a trumpet.
Yeah, but you can learn.
Yeah.
If you put the time in, you could learn to play a trumpet. But it's having the time to learn, isn't it?
Jesus, don't give him ideas.
Or like learning the trumpet.
Andy on his trumpet.
Andy offer cash to him. My son has enough money off me as it is.
Hey, there's a question there which actually fits in with something you've got behind you, Matt. Josh is saying, what's your opinion on the Edar 148 scale P51 Overtree kit? So this one, you get no decals, do you?
Oh, yeah, I picked these up.
We've got something similar that's just come in today.
Yeah, well, it's not in the shop because I picked it up from Gary at Tiger this morning, but it's an AZ model Spitfire. Now, if you see, this is what it's called, the Joy Pack.
Yeah, the Joy Pack. So as Andy pointed out earlier, does it come with batteries? We think there might be something lost in translation there.
We don't know. But
all right,
anyway,
love, I bought you the Joy Pack.
So what this little box contains is 3 Spitfires of different marks, a Mark 9C, a Mark 9E, and a Mark 16E. But it doesn't come with any decals. So you've got to source your own decals. But obviously, like, if you're into your Spitfires or whatever, then you're going to have extra decals anyway.
Yeah.
So it's quite a nice way of doing it, really. So, yeah, you get 3 full kits and no decals, which, you know, it's not really a bad...
In YouTube chat, Bruno says, not exactly the same as playing an instrument. It's easy to 3D print. Not if your mat is not.
I'll have a clue. Just by wrapping it up.
He'd have more chance of printing with a trumpet than he would have.
I would. Nice sea fang. A nice sea fire.
Yes.
He's got some more. He's got loads of Spitfires. I just picked a sort of took my eye, and then a nice Hornet. Which, if you want to do PRU blue, is it?
Yes. Photo reconnaissance blue.
Yeah. So they'll be in the store soon when Andy puts them in.
If you knew Matt and computers and things like we know Matt and computers and things.
Hey, I've got rid of my Echo.
Eventually, when you remember to turn it on. Before we're coming on air, he's like, it won't work. Oh, hold on, click. Oh, turned it on, it works now. I'd like to see a 148 scale Hasegawa Super Hornet Blue Angels kit. Yes, because obviously the Blue Angels have just transferred over to the Super Hornet now from the Legacy Hornet. So
yeah, but
end of an era.
They don't do one, do they? Kinetic don't do a Super Hornet, do they?
No, they'll be Hasegawa.
Blimey, that's knocking on a bit. Why don't nobody do a new, like...
Well, the Hasegawa one's all right. Nothing wrong with the Hasegawa. It's a bit, you know, it'd be an early one anyway. The Blue Angels are used, so it'd probably be all right for their E.
I'd say it's a bit hard to get hold of, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But yes, definitely. I imagine there is a company already, I do believe, who does an aftermarket Blue Angels Super Hornet one. I've seen it somewhere. Can't remember who off the top of my head, but I have seen it. So yes. Let me just right. Should we do some of the questions?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, just to feel the AZ kit's 72nd because they've just said what Tim's put what scale. Hey, that's quite funny.
What's that?
Reading our chat because he said Rob's put how is that Joy with no decals, and Chris has put that's the idea Edard should take up.
Yeah, that's it. You can learn.
So give them ideas.
Yes.
Anyway, go on. There's some questions.
Okay, so first up we got Nigel says, hi team, I've had a kit delivered that apparently from Germany. After HM Customs clobbered me with a whopping 40 quid in import duty, the address label and attached document all list Germany, so I'm a little confused. I do sometimes forget where kits I order come from. And when I check back on eBay, it's actually come from the US. At least that's where the seller listed as. Do items often end up coming UK via other countries? Yes. What happens is, I think Lucky Model are good at it as well. Lucky Models come via Germany. But the thing is, you have to pay duty because it's coming to the EU. Isn't it? So as soon as it doesn't matter which country it comes into, even if they're using mail forwarding. So if it goes to France first, if from the US, if it goes to Germany, wherever, and then comes here, you'll still be sent the bill for it. It just follows it to wherever it goes to its final destination. So if it comes straight into the UK, you'll get it. But the bit where Royal Mail get handed it from Germany and then it's coming to you, then Royal Mail will send you the thing. Some companies like DHL will just do it to you direct. And I've had it, spoke about it before, when I bought some studio lights many, many years ago, they were 600 quid. And then they've been up and I've been using them for 6 months. And then I had an invoice through from DHL for, I was at 80 quid for the handling fee and the VAT on it. So, and I thought I got away with it. Clearly not. So unfortunately, like we said, it's only going to get worse, people. Brace yourself, especially when we come out of the EU.
Or better, depending on which point of view you got with it.
Getting clobbered or not, or our point.
Yeah, but as peeps that run work, help, whatever, a model store, it's sort of like, it puts it more on a level playing ground, doesn't it?
Well, you'd help. You sort of hope so, but everybody likes a bargain. You can't begrudge people getting a bargain.
No,
true.
But I think obviously when we come out of the EU again, because apparently we came out last year, but now we're in transition. But if we don't get a trade deal, which, not being funny, we're 40 odd days, cutting it fine now, then pretty much everything's going to get a fee. So brace yourselves, because we were talking to John about it, and he was saying in the next few years, everything will have a fee. So at the moment, you might get lucky getting stuff through, but apparently they've got things on the way, which means you're not going to get it. So not good. Apparently, Canada and the UK are about to announce a new trade deal post-Brexit. Ooh. Maple syrup will be cheap. Which is good, because I do like maple syrup. I had pancakes and maple syrup yesterday for breakfast.
What trade deal with Japan, haven't we? So...
Yeah, but we spoke about this. I think people just need to realise when we have a trade deal, it doesn't mean that suddenly prices are going to drop through the floor.
No.
It's just that the way it actually, you'll still always have to pay VAT because you're bringing it from one VAT, they take their bit off, comes into the new one, it has to be added. It's just the tariff that it comes in. We were talking to Gary about this, weren't we? Wasn't it 4.5%? For plastic kits is 4.5% is the tariff for it. So that tariff might go. So you're only talking 4.5%, but I think it's not free. I think people need to sort of slow down a bit. That if we suddenly did a trade deal, there'll be no VAT because VAT has to be paid somewhere. Is in sales tax or VAT, whatever way you call it in the world, isn't it?
It just means that with the trade deal, we know where we stand with it come end of the year, don't we? Whereas if there's no trade deal, we don't know at the moment where we stand with it. So.
Yeah. At the moment, because we're under the single thing, isn't it? It's just that the VAT is paid by the host country. So, like, we pay the VAT here. So, if we even anywhere to the EU, it's paid for them. They don't have to pay it when it moves. But obviously, when that ends, it's going to then suddenly go, be put to the person, isn't it? Instead of us paying it.
Got to pay your taxes.
Got to pay your taxes, isn't it? That's it.
Anyway, I'll read this one. Bennett's put, hello, Flory team. Two-part question. Number one, what is the advantage of thinning guns accurate with Mr. Leveling Thinner instead of, for example, X28?
Smoothness and easiness, I would say. Gives it a smoother, less chance of tip dry, so forth and so on, isn't it?
We're going to get to that, Andy. Put it down.
Yes. So, that's what I would go. I think the advantages over using Mr. Leveling Thinner is that if you are, let's say, you always end up with texture in your paintwork, isn't it? So if you spray your model and you rub your hand over it and it always feels a little bit gritty, that will solve that because it slows down the drying time. It makes everything nicely smooth out. It dries pretty quick still, but gives you a nice satin finish. Because I think it changed my way, especially when you're spraying Tamiya. Yeah. It gives a very nice satin finish, and guns as well. But guns tends to be, I always think, a little bit more glossy, satiny anyway.
I can also say I very rarely use X28 now. Everything that I would have thinned with X28, it's all now with leveling thinners. Or
rapid thinner. which is what I would use with aqueous, because then, as Andy's found out, it makes it act more like a true lacquer than the synthetic one, where you don't get the eggshell effect. It does dry rapid, pretty flat, and very hard.
Yes.
And that was the downside with using leveling thinner, because it would skin over. You'd think it would dry, you'd pick it up and put a fingerprint in it.
Yeah.
Even days afterwards.
And I think that's the thing as well with it, with X20A or its own aqueous thinner as well. It's got that habit of skinning over, but with a rapid thinner, it just it neutralises that, really, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
I think if you were watching yesterday's show, we did the live test on this, and I think it showed it quite nicely on the flat one, even that this is Tamiya X, whatever it is, level 6 flat blue. With the rapid thinners, it dried pretty much instantly, wasn't it? And it was touchable. But this one over here that had the self-leveling thinners, which obviously is a longer one, that didn't go off probably until about half hour after the show, before it stopped looking shiny. Yeah, and I wouldn't trust holding it, you know.
Was it yesterday's show or?
Was it yesterday's show or the day before? One or the other. You know, and then this one down in here we did with glosses, and we sprayed it neat, and then we thinned it with rapid drying thinners, and then normal thinners, and then self-leveling thinners with it. And again, the big thing was this one here with the rapid drying thinners, it dried beautifully but very quick, incredibly quick. You know, so again, it's one of those ones where the rapid thinners definitely has its place because it goes well. And my favourite, to be honest, is mixing good old-fashioned Mr. Surfacer 100 primer with rapid thinners, because I did the VC10, literally sprayed the wing, very heavy coats, did some fuselage, then I grabbed that said wing and did the other side, no eggshell effect, no tackiness, it had gone off. There's no way you would have done that with anything else. So definitely a big fan of them. I think literally, like we said when we did this test, they all have their place. It's worth having at least the rapid and the self-leveling, but if you can, do all three.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually used just a normal model colour last night. I think, like I said, they've all got the different advantages on different sort of paints or primers, whatever you're using. So I think it's a due to experiment and see what works for you. But the second part of the question is, doesn't this negate the advantages, i.e. better for your health, less smell, of buying an alcohol-based acrylic? Paint's just bad for you, whatever you thin it with.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Put a mask on. It doesn't matter, to be honest. It's just because it's alcohol-based, it's still not good for you breathing it in.
Like we said before, we've covered this a lot. I've got a friend of ours, and he's like a lung surgeon and all the rest of it. I spoke to him about it, and like he points out, doesn't matter what you're spraying, it's the particles. It's not the smell, it's the particles that are going to do the damage, which go into your lung, that you inhale. It goes into the micro areas of your lung and then bugger it. So you don't want to be breathing any of it in, period. So it doesn't matter if you're spraying acrylics, true acrylics with water even. You know, like he points out, in some ways, lacquers, they smell better for you, but they probably are better for you, because if you can smell it, it means you're breathing it. So, you know, so like he says, if you're just using like water-based and there's no smell or anything else like that, you're almost kidding yourself. You're in this false environment that you're thinking, oh, it's not too bad. But actually the particles, because it is airborne, and the acrylic in that is going into your lungs. So like he says, none, stop. Mask, window open, extractors, it should be a done thing all the time, you know? So be safe, people.
And X28, it's still an IPA-based thinner. I mean, that's the aqueous version of it, which is the proper thinners for the aqueous. But again, they're both the IPA-based thinners, and that you won't want to be spraying IPA everywhere without a ventilator or a mask or something. It is still nasty stuff.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yeah, like we say, with all the hobby, you know, it is a hobby and it's something you want to do for a long time. You just need to take some basic precautions, even if you're sanding, you know, especially if you're using Dremels. I know we've spoken about recently, they're flicking up dust and that. You should have a mask on, you know. If you're spraying anything whatsoever, you want to have a mask on. You really want to have a respirator in your spray booth and just getting rid of it all, because you want to be doing this for a long time. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in, and God forbid. And it has happened to our members we've lost through illnesses, which I'm not going to say are caused by this hobby, but probably were a bit of a factor to it. So just be safe out there. I know resin, everyone used to be up in arms about resins and stuff like that, but again, all of it, just be a little bit careful, a bit mindful about it, and we'll all be doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Rob Edwards says makes the sprayer smell like a strip club too.
Don't know which strip club he visits, but there you go.
What, a freshly painted strip club all the time? Yeah, it makes you wonder what strip clubs he's frequenting, but hey.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, next one's a question for Nathan, but he's not here.
Oh.
So we're leaving this one and coming back to it when Nathan's on.
Yes.
Because I actually can't answer it, I don't think.
No.
Can you, Andy? Can you answer this?
I don't know that.
I mean, no, leave it for Nathan. It's not worth. Yeah,
we'll get Nathan on that. We will come back to it. Let me tick it, and I'll shift it for us for Nathan.
Yeah. Right, go on, Andy. You can read Darren's.
Darren, hello team. What subject matter do you think the future generation of modelers will be interested in? World War II is 80 years old now. I was born 20.
In World War II.
And hard to imagine future modelers being equally fascinated by it as we seem to be. When children of today take the hobby, what do you think the subject matter will get to their interest? The thing is, me and Matt talked about this last night though. World War I don't think gets as much interest as World War II does because of the mechanical advances and subjects that were in World War II. And those subjects are still there. They're still, there's not as many. There were aircraft in World War I, there were tanks in World War I, but nowhere near the amount as different diverse subjects that there were in World War II. We seem to have got backpedaled a bit now, whereas the diverse subjects, we don't really get them nowadays. So modern aircraft are built to last for decades.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so you don't sort of get the diverse subjects again. So I still think World War II and the post-war era is the one where people still go for because it's such a diverse subject matter compared to even today. We've gone back in time, I think.
Also, I think as horrible as it sounds, but World War I was sort of known for the horrors, wasn't it? It wasn't spoken about also World War I until I would say the last 30 years. It was almost like World War I was like the world's dirty little secret. It wasn't particularly pushed in schools and everything else, but obviously over the last few years it has come to the forefront purely, I think, because of the 100-year anniversary and stuff like that. Whereas World War II, because there was TV, films and stuff like that, you could see it. So you've got better coverage. So there's footage online. You can go on, let's face it, on YouTube and see pretty much anything because there's going to be footage of it somewhere. Whereas World War I, it's all grainy and can't really see much. And all right, they've done some post-production stuff on stuff now, which is brilliant. But World War II, it's in there. It's a bit like with the Vietnam conflict. There was lots of cameras in that. There wasn't so many in Korea. I think because Korea was so far out of the way and all the rest of it, it wasn't accessible to media like it was with Vietnam. And then obviously post-Vietnam coming on with all the conflicts, everybody's got a GoPro, everybody's got a camera, everyone's got an embedded film crew with them.
Got one of them.
Everyone's got a phone now, that's it. So that's why now they are more in the the face of it and everything else, because you can do a direct link. You see a footage of it, something else like that, you can get an idea of it. And also just through film, isn't it? Films of World War II, growing up as a kid, they were everywhere. World War I, can't remember any. To be honest, as a kid, don't remember ever seeing a World War I film as a kid.
I think the Blue Max was one.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
That was about it, yeah. So, I think that's really what it is. I think that's where the lack of interest goes in. But I think what you'll find now is that World War II, it's almost out of living history in a lot of ways. So now you've just got, no direct first-hand accounts of it. And like I always say, we're all like amateur historians in a lot of ways because we like to do our research of our projects we're working on, get some books, so inspiration, stuff like that. So you learn about the items you're working on, and those types of things, which I think is great because it's part of the hobby. But World War I always think it just gets lost out. But I always think the Korean War is very missed as well. You don't really see much about that, or certainly not in the UK.
Yeah. But it's like what was the last World War One film? Was it 1917? The one?
Yeah.
I mean, in that you see a Mark V tank or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
You see a Albatross, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Crash. And then you see some trucks.
And a rat.
But that's it for vehicles, isn't it? You don't see anything else. The whole film.
You see lots of horses.
Yeah, lots of dead horses.
I think the thing is like thing with World War One. Because it was the infancy of filmmaking. It's very limited to what footage they actually got, and like you say, it was either very grainy and it was obviously of its day. World War Two, everything had moved on. Hollywood had taken off. You've got more coverage. I mean, it's like what I was saying with that the Cold Blue, where they got the filmmakers on the B-17s and they're taking colour photos. The Pacific War got a lot of colour film shot of that as well. So it's like us growing up where we were born. Obviously, we probably had living relatives who were either conflict in it, or like my mum was born in 1940. Do you know what I mean? And she got older siblings, and my dad had as well. His brother was a para in Arnhem. So it's there with a family thing, and obviously that generation's now died off or dying off.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to be newer conflicts that come in. But like I think Gordon's just said on here, I mean, they might go for space or more sci-fi related. The kids who take over from us. But you don't know, because you don't know until that happens. But obviously they'll be probably 3D printing their own kits. They won't be like going and buying them from people like us. They will just go online and get a program, or they design them themselves. And to be honest with you, they'll be able to do whatever they want. If they can design it, or it's been designed, they will be able to print off whatever they want in probably whatever scale they want, because the technology will be there.
Yeah, I agree. I think some ways, though, obviously, you've got that thing that carries on, like Spitfires, Hurricanes, Messerschmitt. But what will happen is perhaps the lesser known aircraft, I think they'll fade into time. It's a bit like, as we know, Wing Nut Wings have brought almost them all out before they died. But, there's hundreds of different types of World War One aircraft. But personally, because I'm not into it in a massive way, I only know of a handful. And I think that's what might happen, though, with newer generations come along. They'll know a Spitfire, they'll know a Hurricane, they'll know a Mustang, they'll know a 109, but they probably won't know different aircraft past that, because, as I say, they're not going to be, flying still, or they won't be prolific in museums, and things like that about them. So that way it'll just fade off those, and you'll just have the key ones through history.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you think with Netflix now and Amazon and all the, like the Game of Thrones type programs, and then you've had like Daz Boot and all stuff like that. As long as like companies still make them sort of programs, they're going to be relevant, because people are going to have an interest in them. Because obviously we've had an interest from watching war films back as kids, and and the comics and the books, the annuals and stuff, and that sort of sparks the imagination. So obviously they're going to need something as well to spark their imagination. So you don't know, do you, till it happens, to be honest. You just,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris says, hi team, I hope you're all well. What are your personal choices for dead flat top coat? I almost said Top Cat then. I used Tester's dull coat in the past, but the formulation has changed and I'm looking for alternatives. Dead flat top coat.
XF86. That's the thing of the number then.
I don't find that dead flat though.
Yeah, but you use it with rapid thinner.
Where's my one? Hold on, I've got to get mine. I don't keep it because I don't really use it. Let me get my dead flat.
That's actually thin with rapid thinner, that one.
It should be dead flat then. Mine goes really, really flat.
There's mine. This stuff.
That's exactly
this
what I was going to
extra acrylics. Black coat. This stuff goes proper.
Like it's flat. Yeah.
Very, very flat. So this is XAFF flat finish. It's acrylic, but seriously, this stuff,
it's like white glue.
It is. It looks like Elmer's glue. And if you don't thin it right, you end up with a lovely frosty coating over your model. So you have to thin it properly and get used to it. Do a couple of tests if you've never used it before, because if you put too much of that in, you spray it on your model, it looks great, and then in the morning it looks like it's been a heavy frost right the way over your model.
Yeah, I find that's the flattest. But he's in America, so you can get it from importer, can't it? From but yeah, I find that's the flattest. That
But
you can get.
don't forget, there's also the guns GX 12 and 14. I think are the really flat ones. Are they?
Yeah. But
again,
as I say, like Matt said, really, Tamiya XF86 with rapid thinners, that goes very flat.
That goes very flat and dries very quick.
And it dries incredibly quick, yes.
So
I flattened the interior of my cockpit with that.
What?
XF86 with rapid thinners. And it is, you must admit, it is very flat.
There you go then. Because I was going to say, some people, I made the mistake of putting leveling thinners in it, but then you'll get a satin finish.
Yeah, you end up with a very nice. To be honest, that's what I love. That's what I do. XF86 with self-leveling thinners is a beautiful, smooth satin coat. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So are you saying that's better than X35? Is it X35, the satin?
Yeah. To be honest, I only ever use that. For gloss-wise, I've got other glosses just for gloss, but if I'm using for flats, I tend to use XF86 for flat with rapid thinners, and if I want a nice satin finish, I put self-leveling thinners in it.
Right.
I don't think I've ever used X35. I've got it right on the end of my paint rack up there, but the age of the bottle looks like...
What you need, Andy, is some X21 in there, it'll be fine.
Right then, here's one from Dennis. Right, great shows, gang. Sorry if the group already provided this information, but I have been watching for a while now, and I don't remember ever hearing the background stories for the gang. What you have done or do for a living? How y'all met?
One night when we were in prison.
Yeah.
We were on the same wing. We're like the A-team. We promptly escaped and formed a modelling group.
Maximum security modelling group. Something to fill the time if you don't have a ton of questions. Join on the live show. Thanks, Dennis. Well, yeah. Where do we start? It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Devon.
Yeah. Well, what we did in previous lives, me, man of mystery, lots of stuff. Andy wore tights with the Nottingham Foresters.
Tights. Man in tights. He was an outlaw.
He was an outlaw. He was Robin Hood.
When I left school, I was a manager for Asda, where are you, America? I think Walmart. Yeah, that bad.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly the way it used to be. I think they just changed again, haven't they? And then I left and went in the army. Then I left and then went back to Asda. Then my wife became pregnant and I became a house husband.
His life.
I became a house husband because she was getting paid a lot more money than I was. And then I went to work at B&Q part-time, which I still do, but not part-time. Well, I am at the moment, but not officially. How I met Matt, we used to meet up once a month as part of the Flory group, wasn't it? And all the guys, the guys from up this way, we used to meet up once a month. And when when Flory Models was a lot smaller, Phil used to have barbecues. And we used to, as a group from up north, we used to go down to Phil's for the barbecues, which is how then we all got to know Philip. And then we used to help out at Telford shows and things like that.
Yeah, I used to help out all the shows and the various bits and pieces, and it sort of progressed from there.
It did. It spawned from there, didn't it?
It did. It spawned from there. And then obviously PM Models came along a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So I left school and was a professional car painter for most of my adult life until 4 years ago, till we started this.
Yeah.
And then obviously I worked for people, had my own business, sold that business, and then obviously a chance conversation with Phil really is why PM started, because I had an eBay shop for selling kits that I used to do as a bit of a side project from the car painting side of things, and the fees and all that were getting too much, and I was packing it in, and I used to drop in to see Phil when we were on holiday, and I just used to invite myself round, basically.
Yeah, he popped in for a week.
Lydia used to just invite ourselves round or come down. So obviously me and Phil got to know each other and got chatting and whatever, and you kind of asked me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because it was on your veranda that you sort of said,
we were out on the decking.
Pack it in then. I was just going to ask you if you fancied, and then I said, well, we've got no to lose. Let's give it a go. Because obviously you had flooring model side of it. I still had the paint shop. I still had my own business. So I said, well, if it does fall flat on its face, we've not lost anything. It's one of them, let's give it a go. And to be honest, it just went, took off. So it helped me make the decision of, well, I'll retire from painting cars, which would save my lungs a lot of hammering. And also it's just something, passionate about, isn't it? Really, it's an absolute, best job you can ever think of. So it's worked out brilliant, to be honest.
Well, then I got asked if I'd want to go and work part-time.
Yeah.
Then we took Andy on as head T-boy and IT.
All right, IT, head IT man.
He's our ITT man.
And you know what, it's thinking, because how fast we've kind of got to where we are. We're only 3 years old as a company.
Yeah, 3 years old as a company.
Like, it feels like we're a lot older and we're not. But it's like everything's sort of fell into place, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's been nice. It's just all, and obviously with the help of everybody who watches us and purchases and everything else, without you obviously purchasing and buying and supporting us, we won't be here, to be honest, would
simple
we?
as that. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nathan's story of how he knows Phil is exactly the same as me and Matt.
Yeah.
Because Nathan's from up north as well, and we all, say he's one of us
John,
that used to meet. And
John came to your meets, didn't it? Because you had meets, and that's where.
Yeah, because I used to do meets here as well. We used to do them every Sunday, one Sunday of the month, and everyone used to cram in here. We used to have about 13 or 15 in here, and we used to be outside as well and everything else. And John lives about
an hour.
I don't know. Yeah, he's about an hour up the motorway from here, 40 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic and that. And we've got a few of the other guys, and they live in the nearest town to me, which is sort of 5 miles down the road. And then everyone just comes round here. But as I said, pretty much we're very informal. So everyone just racks up, turns up, and away we go. And that's how it's always been. We've always wanted it to be a giant model club, isn't it? Friendly bunch. And that's what we've always had. So a bit like the barbecues. I'd still do them now, apart from you'd end up with a couple of thousand people racking up.
And
at the time, it was just like open up. One year, I think we had something like 58 people. It was a bit crowded.
We'd have to hire a stately home now to do one, wouldn't we?
Yeah, this is it.
For the weekend. Which has been discussed.
John's a postman for Royal Mail, and Nathan's a teacher.
Yes. Hence, he does those lovely PowerPoint presentations for us that we've never done before. But now Nathan's on them. It's like we're proper posh.
Proper professional, aren't we?
We're professional now.
And I think the other thing is as well, we've all got diverse interests in the hobby as well. Which also, I know, like, obviously, you four are preliminary aircraft builders, but it's just not what you're interested in, which is obviously good because you do dabble in other things, like Nathan and John do as well. So it's good, there's a bit of knowledge of everything, and I've just got a nerdy sort of ability to remember kit manufacturers.
I think one thing that's also helped is that our wives' partners all get on with each other as well.
Yes.
So when we go to the big model shows like Telford, they all rack along with us, and they sort of like part of and help out. And my wife's always stood there with a apron on, pinny on it. She's like
stuck in,
serving and whatever. And
I think at the end of the day as well, it's just that we're best friends doing our hobby. It's not like a job, and I think that helps. It's always great. Like I've said, I haven't worked a day of my life for the last 20 years doing this. That's the thing.
It is. It doesn't seem like you are working, obviously, but it's
you enjoy it, so it's not like you're doing it. Like we said, I always do this thing. It's not like you're digging a hole, is it? Say that to my kids. When they moan about stuff and everything else, and I'm like, could be worse. You could be digging a hole in the pissing rain, and that's your job. And there's people that do that, so never moan about anything. Nothing to those people, but we're very, very fortunate doing something you enjoy it. So, and I never ever take that for granted.
No, definitely not. No, and no, I don't think we will be producing our own kits, David. To be honest, it's not something we've.
That's just a lot of money tied up in that, and a lot of risk.
it's not something we'll probably get into, I don't think, unless some chance meeting or something happens at some point in the future, but not on something we've got planned. Why not even considered it, have we? Not discussed it. So
yeah. Phil, are you in Cornwall? No, not just. Almost. Close. Not quite. South Devon I am. I'm the furthest south bit in England. So we're very close to the sort of Cornwall. I'm literally, it takes me 20 minutes getting to Cornwall from here. So, but yes, we're in the downy bit of Devon, which is the lumpy bit next to Cornwall.
Hmm.
So,
The
yes.
furthest south bit of England, don't you class Cornwall as England?
Yeah, but Devon is lower than Cornwall.
Is it?
Yeah, East Pearl down at the bottom end of Devon is the lowest point of England. It's
Oh,
the most
right.
southerly point of England. Yeah,
That's Cornwall sort of.
because Cornwall sticks out,
Yeah.
but Devon's
Yeah.
lower. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, it's 20 minutes for me to get to the bridge. As I always say, Cornwall starts at the bridge and then you go across. So yeah, very good.
Well, again, I mean, obviously with Phil's side of it, with the forum and obviously the membership and stuff, obviously you lot make it as well for us, don't you? We were just saying, you know, like doing these shows with the chat on, we've got something to, because we were just on about it earlier, weren't we? You know, if you're doing a podcast, there's only like, I mean, me and you could probably yap anyway, but
Yeah,
it's nice to have an input from obviously people out of chat, if it's YouTube chat or the Flory chat. It's nice for you to be involved because obviously you give us stuff and we, you know, hopefully give something back. You know, two-way thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what's Land's End? Land's End will be the most westerly point of England because that is on the tip of thingy. Chard. Yeah, there you go. Funny enough, Chard. I was born in Chard. That's in Somerset, which is a bit further up. So that's not so far from where John is. So yes, so Chard. I was born in Chard. Weirdly,
I mean, Land's End's the furthest.
Iron Man 129. No, you're wrong. That's not the most southernest. East Pearl in Devon is the most southerly point of England, unless it's moved, which I don't think it would have done. But it's no.
So yeah. So move on to Alex's question. Who's
Right.
this?
Go on, I've got it. Good evening, gents. Not a question, just putting my 2 pence in the Eddard Deckles debate. Oh, my lord. With the benefit of seeing... Hold on. If I put this up, people can see the pictures.
I have another question before we get any. Once you've read it out, I've got another question before you answer anything.
All right, okay. With the benefit of seeing Phil's having bad times with them before using them, I was eager to give them a go and found that if you use them carefully and you know how they work, they leave a beautiful painted effect. Just built the new Spitfire. Can you see that as well? If I move it there. Just built the new Spitfire Prophy Pack. All in all, a beautiful kit. And at the end, they do really look painted on, which I must admit, they do look very, very good.
Bone
Andy. For large ones, i.e. roundels and larger letters, I peeled the film off. The stencils I rub gently with enamel thinners. You can use the enamel thinners with to weather them. Go a bit heavier with the thinners and it will eat into them a bit. A nice thin XF86 coat to seal them down afterwards, and it's all good. I must admit, they do look very, very nice.
Yeah. Very good. Now, my quick question before we go further. What colour is that camo scheme?
I don't know.
I say dark earth and dark green.
I'd say, yeah, it just looks like the dark green doesn't look green, but don't know. It might be just the angle and the.
Because to me it looks like
light.
it's the desert colours.
Don't know. Pass.
But
we're not talking about Andy. We're talking about the bloody decals.
I know, but we had a discussion last night about it.
Oh right, okay. It might be just because of the angle. It could be dark green, but because of the light and the angle, it's just bleached them out a bit on the photo. But that being said, they look beautiful on that roundel, don't they? The actual rivets showing through.
I think it looks, they've
The
gone
rivets,
up really nice.
rivets look fantastic on that kit as well.
Why they didn't tell you about the change is anyone's guessing that they have tainted the edition, in my opinion. Well, again, when they're done right, as you have, they look fantastic. Look very, very nice indeed. Because as I say, with no carrier film, it just works. It looks fantastic. It's just getting them to be like that. It's a little bit of a a ball lake. But yes, there we go, another angle. Might be just the light on that.
Yeah, it's a bit
green, but I think it's just the light. Yeah, it's giving it that sepia look, and it's bleaching out all the colours on the photo, I think. Generally, though, very nice job on that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done, Alex. That looks great. Right, Bruce says, hi guys, couple of things I thought that might interest you. HK Models Lancaster nose art has hit our shops here last week, and they sold out very quickly. Prices varied from 45 to 65. Also, where are you? That's the thing. Bruce.
Australia,
is he Australia? Because he's called Bruce. G'day, Bruce. No, I won't do my accents. Was looking to order the hard-to-find kit from Japan, the Japanese online shop. Quoted 37 for the model and 50 quid for shipping using DHL.
Can I just say, it's from Australia.
It is Australia, right. Entirely agree with supporting your local hobby shops. Unfortunately, people often don't factor in the price of good service and how more than ever they need your patronage. Hang in there. In Victoria, we've just come out of a 4-month lockdown after severe cases in June. Sorry, the dog's got an itch. 700 plus a day. Numbers are now 0 and 0, which is brilliant for 15 days. I worked in the health industry, and I'm too aware. You two can pack it in. It's not that time. Aware what this bug can do. Love the shows. Keep up the great shows. Bloody brilliant, Bruce. Well, not big bad Bruce. Again, it does seem to be the thing we've said about this, that I think it's because you're in that sort of Pacific area. The stuff that comes out of China tends to filter south to Australia and New Zealand quite quickly. Because, wasn't it, Chris had the nose and did the review for us on it.
Yeah.
What, last month? 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So, yes. But, sorry, the dogs are now deciding to have a game. No, out. That bit where they're both, two faces are looking at you like, and you're like, no, because they're about to come flying in here. Right, Mike says, hi Phil and team, I'm having trouble with extreme metal after a clear coat of future pledge. I've sprayed with the Badger Stynel Res primer, and 2 days later a thick coat of pledge. After that, at least let the paint sit for 2 weeks to dry. After that, I've sprayed extreme chrome, very thin layers till perfect results. I let it dry for at least a week, but then after handling, a bit of the extreme chrome dissolved in places where I touched it a lot. The pledge floor wax is not compatible with extreme metal, question mark. Or I should give it a clear coat of Winsor & Newton or AK Real Colour instead of spraying the extreme metal. Again, this goes back to the B17, you know, because with that one I used gloss, black, LP1 right over it, beautiful finish and everything. You will, through handling, going to cut through it. We had this question yesterday, I can't get out now, but they still know, I'll put them back. Gloves, cotton gloves, pure cotton gloves, and you won't, it's the temperature and the acids on your fingers will eat through, because you've said it yourself, you're putting down really thin coats. Me and Matt have said it a lot. It's not painting, it's plating. It's a very, very thin layer, and it doesn't take a lot to go through it. And because it's black underneath, it shows.
But just going back to the beginning, he's put the black Stynel res on, and then later a thick coat of pledge. What's the pledge for? Why are you putting the pledge on? Because you don't need to put the pledge on.
I think he's put the pledge on because he's put it onto Stynel res so to gloss it up, rather than using a gloss black.
Right.
Black Stynel res down and then put the pledge on.
So let's just go back to the beginning of this. Put your primer on, whatever primer you use, rub your primer down, get it nice, and then put a coat of gloss black on. Yeah? Do we agree? Either X1, LP1, whatever guns do, a gloss black, and then put your chrome on.
Yeah.
Yeah? And you should, I mean, you will still be careful handling it, but you will get then the chrome effect. You don't need to seal that in, because if you put any sealer over that, you're going to lose the metal effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just obviously I was a bit confused with the blacks. Obviously the Steinol Res primer and then a thick coat of Future on top of it.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah.
Again, the thing is, don't forget the Pledge Floor Wax. Although it's an acrylic, it is like a wax as well. It's not, I would say, sort of perfect for doing that type of effect with it. If you're just trying to get a glossy finish, you're better off trying to get that in the paint phase, like using a gloss black paint or something else, rather than putting a clear coat down. Because again, it's just, the reason we say about using black, not only is because you can see it, so you can see if you got a perfect finish before you go with the metal color, but also when you're spraying silver on black, you can see it covering very easily. Yeah, if you were using gray or white or something else like that, you can't tell how much you're putting down. So its thinness makes that gorgeous metal luster, and that's really what you're after, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So yes.
Right, Andy Manning. I'll read
Look,
this
hold
one.
on. The guys are all saying, hold on, I'm just going to have to say this. Right. The thing is, apparently I'm wrong and it's not the most southerly point in England. Well, I'm just saying there's a big sign there that you stand there and it says the most southerly point in England, blah, blah, blah. Take the dog there. It's what it says on a giant sign.
It says, welcome to Doncaster.
That's it. I'm just saying what it says on all the tourist things and on the signs there and all the rest of it. It's like Land's End turning around saying the most northerly. Perhaps somebody's moved all the signs. So sorry if I need to look at a map, Gordon, and whoever else has called it. I'm just saying what we were taught at school and all the rest of it. So just going on. Next.
Moving on.
Right. God.
Andy's Manning, here we go. Hi team, I've lost track on if this show is afternoon or evening this week. If it's evening, I'll catch up when I finish nights at 2 o'clock. Just a quick question on the SIGs and GBs. I now have my kit sorted for them. Is it classed as out of the box if I print my own decals and construct my own custom scratch built add-ons? As I need custom decals for one kit, I want to try and make another kit look better with some scratch built bits. Look forward to the weekend events.
We don't have any
rules, do we? With that
rules for out. It's not like a
IPMS one, yeah.
Yeah.
You can just build whatever you want as long as it fits within the category. There's no subsections of the category. It's just like just build what you want, whether it's got 10 tons of aftermarket or no aftermarket. Don't worry about it. Just build it.
Yeah, as I say, we're not quite as. I know we've said we've tightened up on the rules and that, but we're not quite to IPMS level yet about what you can do and with aftermarket and various things. So, the bit where we just classify where people put like out of the box is really, scratch building can go in there. You don't have to list everything. It's just that when I put on my build, for instance, like out of the box build, sometimes I'll use scratch buildy bits in there. But the reason, if I was to be using aftermarket or a conversion kit, I just put it in that bit. Where it actually says, so I'll put in there, like if I've used Edard or something like a specific item, I just, instead of like it saying out of the box build, I'll put in there all the bits I've used. So you can go and get them with the part number. That's normally what I use that for.
So no, you don't need a copy of the instructions next to your finished
no,
photos.
You don't need that either.
Maybe
or like somebody, nor do you need to have, because people always do it, is like, a picture of like an iPad with the time on it next to the model. We don't care, just have fun. That's the whole point. As long as you're having fun, that's the main thing.
As long as you have fun and fit the genre of what we're doing, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Go on then.
Danny says, hi team, I've managed to get hold of a tube of Tamiya's white model filler. Have you or have anyone else in the forum ever used have ever used it? Sorry, that's me. I just refreshed it because I thought it died. Thought I'd ask before taking the plunge and using it myself. Great show. I've never used it, so come on then. You guys have.
I haven't. Nathan does, doesn't he?
Is it?
I've got the grey stuff and I love it. I think it's brilliant. I've never used the white, but we sell the white guns stuff, Mr. White Putty and Mr. White Putty R, which I don't know if are very similar products. I'm not 100% because I've never used them. So I can't really answer that because I say I don't know what the consistency of the white is over the grey. I don't know.
It's the same old thing that we're sort of like handcuffed, held by whatever the importer imports.
And
The importer doesn't import it, so we don't sell it in the shop. And then
no.
I feel guilty if I go and buy it from somewhere else.
Well, you have to literally buy it.
Absolutely, you're not allowed. You know, like we've always said, we try and support, and obviously because we work with distributors and stockists, we tend to try and be good. But as I say, people go and get it from everywhere else. Up to you, isn't it? We've often said the trouble we've had in the UK, it's a labelling issue, and I'm sure with the putty, it's labelling as well. And it literally comes down to you have to have a sheet of paper this big to stick onto an item that big. And it just doesn't work, you know, because it has to be officially stuck to it. That's why all the UK ones have to have different labels on the top. They manually put them in when they get into the country.
I'll tell you what, I'll be back. You ought to see what comes on a gun's paint now.
Oh, go on then. But this is the thing. In the UK, there's lots of products. Like we always say, like Tamiya, they do the ink for panel line detail. Can't have that. It's not because we don't sell it because it's anything to do with me with washes. It's not legal to sell it in the UK. So without having extra paperwork and that, but it doesn't stop you buying it from abroad and bringing it in. There's no law against that. It's just that the distributor won't bring them in.
Right. Can you see this?
Hold on. Let me bring you a camera.
I got overhead camera.
Go on. I've got you.
Can you see all this?
Yeah.
This is now what comes on a tin, a jar of guns paint. And half the time they stick to each other and rip off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you now have an health and safety sheet. Sort of sellotape to them. I don't know whose job it is, whether we'd have to do it when it's over here or it's done before they get in this country, but at least with the Tamiya ones, you get like that sticker on the top, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, honestly. So I'll just take it off, but yeah, it's like, obviously you can see the flammables and
all
the little sides that they have to do.
You get a free Optivisor with it, so you can actually read it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's like I said, they just stick to themselves anyway, so half of them will be missing. There you go.
There it is. Jesus.
That's it.
You lose it as loo roll or a party hat.
It's like a ticker tape, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, how you're supposed to read that is...
Because the thing is, I know what some of them is. The law states that the symbols on bottles and labelling has to be of a certain size. You can't make it tiny because it has to be readable. So, and obviously that's the thing. So if you've got like a 5-gram tube of glue, that's it. The symbols have to be a certain size, and obviously you'd have no room for labelling and stuff, and it's just that thing. But in the UK, they have to have it. Nightmare.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, like I say, half of them just get taped to each other and get sort of removed when I take them out of the boxes, because now they come in the little cardboard box. You know, they used to come in the plastic containers of 6. They don't anymore. They sort of come in these cardboard boxes like Tamiya paint. I've got to put my Optivisor on just to see if I can see it. Oh, I can see it with my Optivisor on, just.
Christ, don't read it out. We'll be all week.
Oh, no, I'm not reading it. Don't worry. I'm just looking
So anyway, the difference, and is it any good? I would just treat it as you would any normal filler. You know, make sure thinner coats, let it dry between coats, light sand, reapply, so forth and so on, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be all right. I think it's gonna shrink, but all fillers shrink.
Yes.
So,
and I think that's the thing as well. A lot of people, they're looking for that, golden bullet, isn't it? Where it's a product you can just put it down and it'll be easily sandable with 0 shrinkage. That will never happen because they are all chemical based, and so when they're going off, usually they're generating heat if they're lacquer based and stuff like that as they're setting, and then obviously they will shrink. So, I'm going
to say the only other thing is like the old car fillers and putties that you use where you put the hardener in it.
Yeah,
then,
you got 2
like
parts.
you said, it's a chemical reaction that's just going to melt your because it gets very hot actually.
Yeah,
Filler
absolutely.
it proper generates heat, and it's going to be no good for styrene. You're going to have all sorts of issues.
Just grab 2 out of YouTube chat a second. One of the guys, Glenn's asking, what's the best colour to lighten NATO green? Bit of
Flesh. Yellow or flesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or both, to give you a bit of hues of both. And also, one of the guys is asking, is the Shadow Model says, maybe it's been asked, but is the turkey shoot for members only?
Well, the thing is, because it goes in the forum, So everyone puts up the builds in the forum. So there'll be a thread system and all the rest of it for doing in there. But obviously people at home can join in as well because it will be live. We will be throwing this out to the world, aren't we?
Yeah.
Two talking heads is talking about why, possibly that Tamiya don't do it, and also about it need labels on the product, and also the box comes in and it's just like, nightmare.
Yes, we have asked for certain products in the Tamiya line, haven't we? A lot of times, and I know a lot of other companies has, let's just take panel liners for one every time. But no, for whatever reason, they won't bring them in. So
Drills.
Drills, can't do drills.
I've got one another little drills, but obviously that don't thingy with the motor. But I don't know.
Yeah, they sell the same motor in kits.
Price is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
Robert says, "Hi gang, missing the video build, but loving the shows." Right, just like put this straight. I was 2 days late putting up a video build this week. That's it. I was literally 2 days late. It went up last night, and you got a bit tomorrow. God damn it! Bloody hell! Anyway,
go on, have a rant.
No. Start me on today. Question: do you guys know where you can get a 48 scale Iron Man for fitting this pose? Matt suggested 3D print one.
I tell you, actually, I've just had a thought about this. Go and look at the Wargamers. Because they do some Marvel stuff. There's something called, Marvel Crisis Protocol or something, and they do an Iron Man figure. I'm not sure how big it is, but you might actually get more joy from that side of it than this side of it, if that makes sense. It's worth a look.
I did look last night, and all I could find was 1/12 Iron Man, and I think you should build a 1/12 F-22.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple.
Yeah. Dragon do them, don't they, those ones?
Yeah, Dragon's done them.
Dragon did them. I don't think they do them anymore, but they used to. I think they lost the licensing on it, but many moons ago, they used to do them.
How big would the 1/12 F-22 be?
Massive.
Big.
Massive.
Okay, Keith says, to be honest, I don't think we need to go over this because we've just been about decals all afternoon. But basically, he's saying that you should use microsole and set, make a 50-50 mix and use it on that, which is another way of doing it. Again, I think it's just one of those things. People just need to learn how to use it and play with it before you use it in anger. Molly?
I think the biggest problem with the decals is they didn't tell anybody.
Yes.
If they told everybody that they were different and what to do with them, it wouldn't have been a problem. But just because they haven't told anybody, and everyone then comes across this problem and thinks, "Oh my God, what we're doing? What have they done here?" Yeah. But I think now it's like Alex has shown that they're perfectly capable of making nice decals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just this one up here, as I said, that looks perfect. Worked really well. Yeah. Again, I think, if you know what you're doing and you're looking at just being a little bit more careful instead of perhaps how you're used to treating them, that's the difference, and you'll be good to go. Okay, Paul says, "Hi guys, open question. If this has been answered before, but I can't find, you point me in the right direction. Extreme metal polished aluminium is not looking so polished. It's looking more like silver paint. I bought this other finishes a while ago, opened it up to give it a practice try, came out quite well. No black base, straight onto plastic. I've come to use it in action on a 48 scale MiG-17 smear, no sniggers, and I'm disappointed with the less than polished metal finish. It's akin to flat aluminium or anything else. At this point, I've triple checked the label. I realised something must be amiss, and I've ploughed through 2/3 of the bottle. A while ago, 10 months-ish, I had a polished alley to paint the front of my MiG's nose, air splitter, overall Steinor Res black primer, and it worked out okay. Nice shine. Now I'm using the same paint to finish off my MiG, which I thought would be straightforward, but something has gone wrong somewhere. Again, this could all be down to finish, isn't it? If you need, like you said before, you painted it on plastic. If the plastic's quite smooth and nice and a good flat finish, when you're putting it down, it should look pretty good. But like we said, it's more akin to plating than painting. So think of it like, you know, anything that is on below it will show through. So if you've got any type of texture, and we're assuming because you've used Stynel Res over a rough texture, because you put in there, that's the kit. The plastic is a rough texture, and then you put Stynel Res onto it. Was the Stynel Res light gloss? Because if you want a polished effect, it's all to do with light and how it hits it and how it bounces and reflects. If it's like a mirror, you'll get a mirror finish, which means the metal luster will look back. All the fleck, I call it, what would you call it? The pigment, Matt?
Pigment,
the pigment lays flat. Okay, but if they're laying at angles because they can't lay flat, the light just dies in it. But if they're all laying flat nicely on top of each other,
bounces off it.
It just bounces off. The light bounces off, and you get, to be honest, like I always, you know, that's my best metal work to date is on the V17. To me, it looks like metal, you know, and the light's catching it from different angles and on different surfaces, and it just bounces off it, looking very, very realistic for metal.
To be honest, Phil, you know, sorry, just thinking this, I think, you know, people coming back to this and are not like, obviously, probably used to spraying metallics like the AKs and stuff. I think they kind of missed the point. I think they think, like we've said with fillers, they think it's this silver bullet that's going to make the metal work brilliant, you know, world class. It's all about your prep.
Yeah.
And it's all about your base layer of gloss black. Do you know what I mean? That has got to be absolutely shiny, pinpoint, spot on, with no defects, because any defects that you've got in your black base coat will multiply when you put the whatever aluminium or chrome, whatever you put on top of it as a metallizer finish, will just jump out at you and smack you in the face. So again, because this goes like back to the other question we're going over black Stynel Res, I think they're going into a false sense of security because they're using black Stynel Res. They're going to get a gloss finish or a, you know, because you're using a black base, but it's, I don't think Stynel Res is glossy anyway, is it? It's flat.
No, it dries flat.
So if you put a flat coat on, if you use a flat white or a whatever flat coat, your metal coat on top of it will be flat.
So I think that's why the person before put Future on top of it to gloss it.
Yeah.
On that other thread, but
But that didn't work either. Really, like I said, just go for a gloss black base coat, whether it's the black base from AK, X1, LP1, GX2, is it? I don't know, whatever. A proper good gloss black feels done. Really, it's best thing to do is go and watch your B17 vid, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. B17, it just shows it right the way through.
Just watch that.
But it's one of those ones where if you're doing any type of metal work, forget the metal coat. It's all to do with the gloss coat. It's that preparation, you know, if you've got it. And the reason I use gloss is to check it more than anything, because you can look at it from all the angles to make sure it's like a mirror. And if it's like a mirror, you have a beautiful metal finish. Okay. But as soon as you've got any type of texture in there whatsoever, it just dies. And never overcoat it, because as soon as you overcoat it, you'll kill it. So, yes. Right, Michael says, I've seen several modelers in the modelers using Moscow. Oh god, this is that liquid tape again for temporarily fixing things into places. It looks really handy. However, can't find it in the UK. No, nor can we. Excuse me a minute, Molly. Can we not? Don't give me the eyes. She's eating your nice box, Matt.
Molly, leave it alone.
Molly. Off. She's got a fetish for cardboard.
That's
Leave it to it. Not listening to me.
We stock microscale products in the shop, don't we? But the supplier that we get it from, which is the importer to the UK for the products, doesn't stock.
Well,
liquid tape.
Again, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
It's like the problem with the Tamiya stuff, isn't it? You know, if they don't supply it, the UK if the distributors don't supply it, then the UK stores can't sell it. So
again, we don't know if it's a labelling thing. I don't know what's in it. Is that what she's done already?
She's just
ruined that blooming good box.
It wasn't a kit.
Oh, I kicked it out.
So yeah, really, I don't think there is one, to be honest. I don't think we have got a UK stockist. So I don't know. Like I say, if you've had a look and there isn't one, then I presume there isn't. So you probably have to go abroad to get it. So just looking, I think Chris and Bruce are talking to themselves over the.
Well, next time Matt contacts the supplier, he could ask, see if we can get any.
Yeah, again, it's probably a labelling issue, isn't it? So
yeah. Okay, Adrian says, hi team. First, can I say a massive thank you for sharing your knowledge and giving us all inspiration to try new things and keeping us all sane during these strange times. Back in April, I got hold of the 124th Airfix Little Nelly.
Blimey.
Ever built one of them?
no, I haven't.
I haven't.
No.
Cool kit. From the movie build, and when I went to start it, I found it already had been started, gutted, but was worst was that it was missing most of the instructions, the rotor head and most of the frame to hold everything together. Mental note to check on day of delivery. Mind you, how long have you had that kit? After the sad passing of Mr. Sean Connery, bless him, I've gotten back out and set on making some framework for the new rotor head and some modifications. I would like to share what I've been doing with all the members. I'm not sure what category to post it in. I'd stick it in helicopters.
Works in progress. And
Let's have a look. Hold on,
helicopters,
go
isn't it?
bigger.
So,
There you go.
yeah.
So he's doing all the work around the back here, putting it all in. Look at that. How cool
Tell
is
you what,
that?
That's where Albion Alloy stuff comes in,
Yeah,
like
it
the little
does.
tubes and stuff. You could properly like just make a little mini reel one, can't you?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
tubing.
But no, that's very cool. We need more pictures of little Nelly.
Yeah. Get some up.
Get some up. Cool job. Absolutely fantastic on that one.
Just a quickie, one of the guys in the forum has sent me a message today about Sean Connery, and he was a police officer in America, and he met Sean Connery, sent me a real good picture of him actually, and he said, up to me whether or not I mentioned I might put it up for tomorrow so we can talk about it tomorrow and show
Yeah,
it.
we'd like to see that.
And also as well, just a thingy for the Slave One from Fine Molds that was on about yesterday, because I got sent some pictures and I showed you.
I've got them on my other computer, yeah.
And now I've seen the box, I remember it. They did do one. It was obviously, I couldn't remember. But yeah, he's done a great job. So we might show that tomorrow.
We'll get that tomorrow as well. Yeah, we'll show some pictures and that.
Yeah.
Peter says, hi, all. One for Phil. What was the model where you were using how to use your styrene filler video? It's on all of them. Well, no, the video itself, standalone. If you go to tutorials, anyone can get all these. Don't forget, these are all free to watch. And I think it's under quick, is it? If I'm doing it in here. Is the bite size? Is it in here? Sod's law in it, not in here now. Where have I done with it? Hold on. So it's not in that one. Hold on. Bear with me. It must be then in this one. Glues. Oh God, what have I done with it? There it is. That's the one. That's the original one. So it's in there, making your own styrene glue filler or gloop. Okay, so have a look for it in there. So basically it's in tutorials. Just click in tutorials and say these are free to watch. Anyone can watch these. So just click on learn more. You got all the ones on airbrushing and then you got the quick ones down in there as well. So yeah, just go into learn more in tools and it's second lump down. There we go. That one just down in there. Click in there and you'll be good to go. Right, okay, where were we? James says, afternoon, Phil and team. Speaking of mosquitoes, are the Tammy's 148 versions decent kits? Yes.
Yeah,
Jesus, he's got one for everyone as well, isn't he?
Say, well, this is proper dusty, this is as well.
Yeah,
I was going to say, is it like white grey? So that's dust.
Winter whitewash.
No, again, beautiful kits, both of them. They do three. They do the fighter, the bomber, and the PR photo reconnaissance one. And I've built all three.
They're good, aren't they?
Very good. The photo reconnaissance one, I think, is on a free to watch as well. So you can go off and see about that one. That's the one I did for Airfix magazine.
That's the one that you did the vac form canopy for, isn't it?
Yes, and I've done a vac form canopy tutorial on that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good kit. Really good kit.
And then John says, the Lizard Point is the most southerly point in the UK, about half a degree south than East Port, according to Wikipedia. Just saying. Well, what do I know and what do my teachers know? And what do the signs say? Is that with the tide in or out? As I say, I've been lied to, clearly.
You have. All these years.
All these years.
Conspiracy.
Absolutely. Good job. I've got another house in Cornwall. Claim I'm half Cornish now, so it's fine.
Yeah, moved to Cornwall.
Can I just show the...
My other half's Cornish, by the way, so I am halfway there.
Just show the spinners on them.
Yes.
I stuck cocktail sticks in those, put them into a drill.
Yes.
Got my wife to spin the drill for me when I got a paintbrush and stuff like that.
That's a good way, yeah. Now, if I'd done that, it would have made a right bloody mess. It would have
would.
flown everywhere.
About 5 minutes.
Or the spinner would have just flew off into oblivion.
Yeah, you can imagine the spinner just takes off across the room.
or it
decapitates the child.
Chris just put to me, there is a glossy Sino res, is there? But it's still not better than LP1.
No.
Just saying.
And to be honest, all of their ones are rubbery types, so it won't work.
That's the thing, really, actually, because even if you do a glossy primer, you could do a polishing. Because all paint gets textured, you get an orange peel effect, however good a painter you are. So, yeah. It's practice, isn't it? Practice.
Yeah.
What works,
and again, I think, you've hit the nail on the head there. It is that thing where it's a learned art. When you're doing metal work and you're doing it right, it's something I've been doing for years and never been really happy with it. And probably that B17 is the best one that's turned out. Because even on when I did where is it? Oh, it's up there. The Sabre. It turned out nice and I'm quite happy with it, but it wasn't exactly what I was thinking it was going to be. It's shifted a little bit. So it's good. I'm very happy with it. But that turned out better than I was expecting in a lot of ways. Because it's just got that real metal look to it. And I think it worked well with the 1/48 scale. It just seems to be right for it.
Can I just read this out from Gordon? He's put, team, which is regarded as the better modeller? The one who has no budget and has to scratch build extras, or the one who can buy all the add-ons and just attach them? My answer to that is the one who enjoys himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yes.
There's no such thing as better than anybody, really. It's just obviously your own skill limits and what you want out of the hobby.
I know people who do beautiful, like almost scratch-built models and they're fully and everything, but they're like 5 years to build a model. To me, I can't think of anything worse than doing something for 5 years, working on that same thing for 5 years. That's testament to, not killing your mojo. The bit where you come down every day and spend a couple of hours for 5 years on the same thing. So kudos to that person, but I couldn't do it. I would drive me mad.
No, well, again, it's like different people get different things out of different parts of the hobby, don't they? Like you say, just talking from our team point of view, Nathan's loved building, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He likes the challenge of a build, hence why he does not great kits.
Yes.
Where I'm in the chuck it together and paint it brigade, if I'm honest. There are some, but it's what you get out of the hobby and what makes you happy doing it, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, does it? And we'll preach this until we pack in, won't we?
Yes, definitely.
It's relevant.
At the end of the day, it's about having fun and enjoying it. And that's why with shows and stuff, with competitions, and the competitions have no interest for me whatsoever, because that's not what I do this for. I do it because I enjoy the build of it and everything else. I actually care what anybody else thinks, because that's what I do. And obviously the friendship and the group and everything else, that's what it's a giant thing. It's not just that item. There's far more to the hobby than that.
Yeah.
I'd never enter a competition. I know, joke about my 109, but
the award-winning 109. He hardly ever mentions.
The thing is, to me, the biggest joke is that the canopy came off when we took it to the show, and ended up getting super glue all over the canopy. When it was before they judged everything, and it got super glue all over it. So, so it's oddly, I don't know.
If competitions are your thing, then that's fine as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. If you build for that, as you say, at the end of the day, it's just the fun of the hobby. That's the point, isn't it?
The community,
keeping the hobby alive.
But yes, I am going to dig his 109 out with his rosette, because I know.
I think you should get the award-winning. If you want to do that, you could get. Oh no, it's not there. It's here. I say my award-winning Harrier. If you wanted to go down that route, which won best at show at Telford, circa whatever year it was. We could get our award-winning that I never even entered.
That's point out that my 109 was sat next to Phil's 262 at the time
when the man with the white stick came past.
Yes, that's it.
Oh
Right.
God! Just had an
quick
email
one
from
there
Airfit.
Sorry, Peter just saying, sorry Phil, seen the video, just wondering which model kit you use the demo in. I use it all the time. Literally, it's here.
Buster, innit? No, he wants to know the kit.
Oh, the kit. Oh God, I don't know. What was
Which
I
model
think, was I
kit?
using the kit with it? Probably Buster. Yeah.
Buster be the Crusader, wouldn't it?
That one that Roger's put up, that's an old kit.
I was going to say, Roger, I won't go for that.
Oh, that thing.
That's
All right.
proper
Okay.
old.
In there, that is the whose kit is that? Jesus, I can't think what that is.
What is
That
it?
Oh, that's the 132nd
111, innit?
111 HE 111.
Do you know what? That don't look that big now.
No.
Does it?
No.
That seemed massive when you were building it. It don't seem very big. Oh yeah, that's it's an hard to get hold of kit. The second 111 there. Oh look, sink marks.
Sink marks, yeah. We were using it in sink marks and demoing them and putting junk in it, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I attached all the photo etch with it.
Yes, you did. What did happen to that Bombay you were going to build to put next to it?
Anyway, moving on. Well, that photo etch Bombay. Yeah. I did do some of it. It is part of like photo etch 1 tutorial. So I think look, there it is. There, that's it. There you go. I did use it. It's in there. It's just I didn't bother soldering it. I was going to solder it all, but I gave up at that one. So yeah.
Dragging on a bit, wasn't it? Dragging on. Yeah. Anyway,
big old lump.
I think we better call it a day.
Think so. Cool. Very good. Right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Cheerio.
Andy will be late.
Yeah, Andy's going to come in halfway through the show.
Well, no, I'm about 15, 20 minutes late.
Oh, right. So if we're late starting, we're waiting for Andy. Sat here.
Yeah. But as long as he brings a sick note.
Yes, that's it. Has he got a pass?
I've got a meeting at work to go to.
Yeah, he's moonlighting with his other job. Bless you. Right, okay then, people. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. A pleasure, as always. We will see you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock if you'd love to join us live, where we'll be doing a bit of a catch-up, all the rest of it. I'm going to be busy doing reviews now. That's it. Clear the decks, get everything out of the way, and I'll do reviews for the next couple of days and catch up with all of those.
Cool.
So, yes. So, anyway, usual thing, get everything at PM Models and everything, and we will catch you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So, say goodbye, gentlemen. Cheery, bye.
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 Bye.